good.
Now?
Yeah,
now, definitely.
Yeah.
Right about meow.
Now.
The Funk Soul Brothers.
Check it out.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to tonight's what will be an awesome episode, I'm sure, of Dragonbane Ravenghast! Exclamation point!
Very important.
Right? I'm Jeremy, one of the producers here with my fellows Kevin and Miko, who are somewhere on the screen with me as well. They're over there. And we have some guests. I think, Bleak, you've been on the channel before, but this is your first time running something, so I'm super excited to have you here. And Shelly, is this your first time on the channel?
This is my first time. Be gentle.
Hooray! Welcome!
You
so
came to
awesome,
the wrong channel.
right?
Did you say be gentle? What is this, Barbara Streisand?
Yes.
Papa, can you hear
She
me?
was going with,
you
she's
hear
going
me?
that Fargo accent we were talking about.
Yes, this is my first time.
Wanna build a snowman?
Who regretted most, whether the channel or Shelly? We don't know yet.
We'll know by the end of the night, or
It's
by
a
the first
toss-up.
5 minutes. I don't know.
That's
Maybe
fair.
now.
That's fair. So Bleak, why don't you tell us about what we're doing tonight?
Well,
What
I
are
don't
we
know. I
doing?
was hoping you knew.
Oh, anyone? Bueller?
It's a spontaneous mini Mondays, everyone.
Right.
Let's
Shelly,
Let's
yeah,
throw
no.
down. I
gotta get a different mindset here.
right.
That's right. We got to get a Coen Brothers mindset. COE.
Oh, right. Shelley's. I forgot about that.
That's right. Hey, everybody. Yes, we are playing Dragonbane.
Hooray.
Dragonbane, a fantastic little fantasy game published by Free League Publishing. It is a game of mirth and mayhem, and well, I don't know about the mayhem, but we've certainly been bringing the mirth. So we'll hopefully keep that going. Anything else you want me to say?
Why don't you tell us who you are?
I could do that, I guess. Yeah, I'm
He really
Bleakseason.
cares about that. Come on.
Right.
No one cares. I'm the Bleakseason.
I mean, no one's watching anyway, so we might as well fill some dead
You
airspace.
have to have ears.
That's right, and I'm done. You know who I am. I'm Bleakseason.
Where can people stalk you on the internet?
People can find me at the Bleakseason on Twitter and can check out my website, bleakseasongaming.com. And you can find me on Guild Superior running some games and also on my own channel. I'm not running anything much in October because my schedule was stacked, but I usually run, 3 or 4 games a month there too. So
You know, it's really funny because
I also
I meant to say this earlier and I forgot,
What?
which is not strange for me. We talked like a couple months ago about having you come over to the channel and run something, right? And then when we talked about it like weeks later, we were like, we were going to have you over. What was that for? I remembered today. We were going to have you over here to run some Warhammer. So tonight's going to just switch things up. We're going to run Warhammer instead. How's that sound?
Nice. Well,
Does this get to be a we get to play? Because I've never played it. So.
to be honest, Dragonbane is kind of similar to Warhammer, not in the mechanics of it at all, but in the kind of tone of it, that kind of dark, grim thing, but with also that sense of dark humor in it. It's very similar to Warhammer, actually. So
Cool. So tonight we're going to be playing Warhammer Dragonbane.
We're going to play a dragon with a Warhammer that's got Human Bane cast on it.
Nice. Smite.
We'll play
Smite.
Warhammer in the new year because I fucking want to play that.
Perfect. Shelly, why don't you introduce yourself? You're the newbie to the channel, and the other fellows on here, everyone already knows who they are anyway, so we don't even need to talk about them.
Yeah, who cares about them? I am Shelly, as you may have just heard, and what do you want me to say? Like, just where I play or what I do?
Sure.
Or, like,
why
what's
don't you
my
also
favorite
tell
color?
us? Sure, all of those things, and also who are you playing? Because we already know that Bleak is the game master, so it doesn't really matter what he's
Who am I
doing
playing
tonight. Yeah.
I'm gonna play a Wolfkin,
Nice.
and I think somebody else here is too.
That's
but
me.
you're bringing
Unite!
the Warhammer.
Right.
I'm bringing the pain with the Warhammer. Yes. I'm doing that.
What's your Wolfkin's name?
Gilroy.
Nice.
Yeah. What's the other Wolfkin's name?
Cloud.
Glauden Gilroy.
Come on, get
This
this
is not the accent I'm going to use tonight, though.
Sounds like a bad Las Vegas act.
Right?
That's exactly what I thought.
Nice. Let's take it on the
Glowing
road.
The Wolf Brothers.
Watch us make things disappear and never reappear. See, my accent's already gone. That's why I don't do accents.
That's fair. That's fair. Awesome.
What will I do on tonight?
Where can people find you on the internet?
People could find me if they so desire on where can they find me?
Instagram.
Threads. Yeah, Instagram. You can see me do jumping things and weird stuff. Leo is a punk rocker.
Fingertip stuff.
None of that. And then also, you can find me on Threads and Blue Sky as Hey, it's Flea Monkey.
Nice. Nice.
That's where you can find me.
Do the rest of you just want to do rollies for who goes next?
Sure.
Kev can,
All right.
Kev can go next.
All right.
Kev can go.
All right. All right.
Let's go. I really have to go now. Okay, hi. Hi, I'm Kevin. I am found online at the socials at KevRan Games. I'm here making my heroic return after 3 days of being horizontal from a terrible sickness that wiped me out of the face of the world.
But
Miko
just to
doesn't
warn
believe
everyone,
me.
he's still sweaty, so.
Well, you don't gotta go and
sweat.
say it, you know. But anyway, no, just a little bit of a flu, but I'm good. No,
I'm glad you're feeling
here
better.
Did you
tonight-
say fluke?
Thanks. Fluke, yeah,
Fluky
what was
flu.
it?
Fluke?
Fluke man.
Like that
You guys ever watch
like that X-Files episode?
I was just gonna say the Fluke
Yeah.
man. That guy
Because he
was
was creepy
some-
as shit.
fucked up
All right,
shit.
everyone, roll initiative.
It's D4? What?
Yeah, so no, but no, I am playing Taven Grimjaw, who is a halfling fighter, and so I'm very excited. This is my first time playing Dragonbane. I've been wanting to play it for a long time, but I trust that we are in good hands with Bleak, because he's awesome, and I'm happy to have him here on the channel. I'll do the big giant who I am later, because let's get into this.
Okay, Miko, why don't you tell us something important?
You came to the wrong person if you want to know things that are important. I can tell you things that are silly. I am Miko,
before we
otherwise
started,
known as-
we were learning all about like rock climbing and all of these things,
yeah,
and
how is
now
that
you have
important to
nothing.
you if you're never going to go rock climbing? So, hi everyone, I am
Knowledge
Miko,
is power.
otherwise known as the OKS GM, and I am playing Broom, who is here to murder people with her stabby blades, and that's all you need to know.
Nice.
Did I pronounce it Broom? I thought it was going to be Brum.
I totally thought it was Brum too. So good to
Aren't there
know.
umlauts?
No,
Oh, sorry.
no
Okay.
umlauts. Yeah,
We
see.
gotta start all over now. We gotta start all over because I thought it was Brum. So
Ah,
I gotta rewrite the
Oh,
scenario.
jeez.
right.
Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
entire
there was a
scenario
whole-
was based on the joke. at the end.
I don't know if anybody else is tuning in that has seen games with Christian and I in it before, but he blames me for all of his faults here. He's
Well, like,
deciding to
and
just
rightly
you spent
rewrite
all those-
everything because of me.
Yeah, you spent all those
like-
hours like making sure everything rhymed with Broom or with Brum.
Yeah.
God.
Like
Let
everyone
things rhyme with Brum, please.
Rum, Trump,
And
Gum.
Dumb.
And with that, I'm Jeremy, and I'm going to play Cloud, also Wolfkin, but much squishier than my Wolfkin fellow Gilroy. But I can make myself fly. I can also make other people fly. I can levitate. Can you all do that? Can anyone else levitate?
I mean, for like a second.
That's fair.
Christian, I was
mean-
under the assumption that no one could ever fly in the games that you
No,
do.
because Dragonbane is not dumb, and Dragonbane does fly in a way that is acceptable.
Oh,
I did, however, upon seeing Jeremy's spell list, suggest to him that a good chunk of the adventure was going to be spent indoors if he wanted to rethink that, but he chose not to.
Yeah, I mean, as Cloud, I don't know that, so I find flying quite liberating. I enjoy the feel of the air flowing through all of my hair. A lot of the time,
You
I just
never
take
know.
my robe off and I
Something
just
might happen, and you might be glad you took that spell.
Nice. With that,
And on that note,
I'm gonna kick Christian off now. So who wants to run the game?
It was a dark and
Shell's
stormy
running
night.
Let me do it.
Okay.
Yeah, Shelly, yeah.
All right.
let's get the better GM in here, Shell.
We should have the Chad GM. That'd be funny. All right, let's
Oh,
get
I
this,
like it.
let's get this. Do you want to plug anything else, or can we get going?
No, it's all you. What? I've just been waiting for you.
All right, here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. Okay, so we are playing Dragonbane in this particular scenario, which I will kick off here in a second. The characters don't know each other. Dragonbane is a fantasy game. It is a bit of a dark, grim fantasy game, but as I was saying earlier, with a bit of humor in it, and so we're going to try to find that humor. We are, however, playing a bit of a Halloween-y, scary kind of scenario, although it's not too bad. Anyways, just so you know. So, my friends, if you're all ready,
I'm never ready for you running a game, so
me either, and I wrote it, so there you go.
I was born ready. Standing up.
see, Shelly's our ringer. That's why we invited her.
Proceed.
Right.
Roll
This
for
story
initiative.
begins.
Can you hear that?
What's that?
Thunder?
Freaking thunder.
Hell yeah.
Hey, so if we go offline and if I disappear, we just lost power.
We'll just keep playing.
Noted.
Speaking of creepiness. Whoa.
Yeah. All right. So, as I was saying, this story begins, like so many others, with an attempt at murder. More specifically, Mallard side. And what makes this story a little different, though, is that it wasn't just one attempt at murdering Lordrill the Erudite, famed Mallard scholar and charlatan, but 4. All 4 of you at the same time, at the same place, attempting to murder poor Lordrill. What are the odds? What are the odds that 4 complete strangers would be trying to kill the same Mallard at the same time? Pretty weird. Of course, then Lodrill began flapping his beak, talking about a sure thing, a map he has, right? Of course, you weren't about to fall for one of his cockamamie schemes again. Nah. Burn me once, shame on Lodrill, burn me twice. On top of which, you were here to kill him, and you have stuff to do. But then he went on about this treasure hoard, ancient magical relics, certainly more plunder than you could ever dream of. You tried to finish killing him, but one of the others, the greediest one by the look in the eyes, stopped you. What's wrong with hearing Lodrill out, they said. Everything, you thought. But what the hell? So Lodrill showed you a map. A place called Ravenghast. Or Ravensbluff. Or was it Ravensburg? No, Ravensghast, that's it. Ravenghast. Only he said it like it had an exclamation mark after it. Like, Ravenghast. One thing led to another, and you found yourselves, along with that schemer Lordrill, 3 strangers, heading deep in country to a place called Ravenghast. A tragic story, explained Lordrill. The richest and most powerful family in the area, the Ravenghast family, all murdered in their beds one night, and apparently by the youngest daughter, Ifreen. Can you imagine that? The horror. But they were rich, and putting aside the rumors of demons and hauntings at the manor, I think this could be a pretty straightforward affair. Go there, kick down the door, plunder the treasure, we're back in town before you know it. If it's so easy, you asked, why hasn't anyone done it yet? I don't know, he shrugged. Laziness? I mean, this map was hard to get, and the place is kind of remote and hard to find. I did hear that long ago a famous knight went there and tried to clean the place up. What was her name? Bronwyn Cadogan, a Wolfkin knight renowned for her good deeds. Very powerful, very capable, a true champion. What happened? One of the others asked. Lordrill shrugged again. Nah, no one knows. Never came back, probably got lost along the way. And that is how you arrived in the small, rather unpleasant village of Skullroot. The hamlet emerged from the mist like a forgotten nightmare, a place untouched by time. The first thing that caught your eye was the imposing leafless trees that surround the village and their twisted branches clawing at the sky as if trying to escape some ancient curse. The buildings in Skullroot are as dreary as the landscape itself. The houses are made of weathered stone and dark, crumbling wood, their windows draped in tattered curtains that barely filter in the wan gray light. The cobblestone streets are uneven and cracked, giving the hamlet a eerie otherworld feel. It's altogether an ill-favored place, and one where rot and decay have elected permanent residence, and where even the sunshine fears to tread. And so now, my friends, after a good night's rest, at the only inn in town, in Skullroot, you're ready to carry on toward Ravenghast Manor and the treasures that await you there. Gilroy, you awaken first, alone in your room. You look down, see your big wolfkin feet kind of sticking out from the blanket, which was way too short, and you can see your knee poking out of one of the holes in the blanket also. It's kind of cold. There's a bit of a breeze coming in because there's no window. There's just like an old wind shutter, and one of them's kind of hanging loose like this, and the curtain's kind of flapping inside. And what do we see if we were to be in that room with you?
You would see a large gray wolfkin whose fur has actually been brushed very recently. Clothing, chainmail, at first glance looks really nice, but if you looked a little closer, you'd see a lot of repairs being done. Not really that well. The chainmail, some of the links don't quite fit together. Seen better days. You'd see probably if he was just waking up, the circlet would be off, but there's a circlet sitting next to him on his pillow. It's supposed to go on the head. It's just a silver plain circlet and a giant ass maul leaned up next to the bed. Great maul, in fact. You would see, if he is not in discussion with anyone, some sort of thoughtful eyes, possibly trying to do some words that rhyme out loud as he's waking up.
And what about the dagger?
What?
What about the dagger? The dagger that you spot on your bedside table that is planted in the wood right next to where you sleep.
That is not my dagger.
It wasn't there when you went to bed last night either.
I will flip the threadbare curtain blanket over, get up, and walk over to it.
Are you naked? Because if you are, we're going to have to put a little...
I have some of the same style finery around my, area.
Yeah. Good enough.
Some stitches in places that
banana hammock. Sure.
Yeah.
Good enough for the sensors.
It's red, by the way.
You notice this dagger that's there looks old, like it's seen better days. The leather around the handle is a little kind of broken in pieces, looks very sweat stained and kind of threadbare. The blade has a little bit of rust that's starting to show, and the blood that's on it is definitely old and dry.
I'll pull it out of where it's stuck into the wood.
Okay. It's a dagger.
Look at it
Never
a
seen
little.
it before.
It's got any writing or anything at all on it?
No.
Is anything attached to it?
No, but as you hold it, you kind of get a feeling of something a little bit wrong with it, maybe. Like there's some bad juju maybe or something attached to it. It just feels a little evil.
And I throw it back down into the wood.
As you do that, you kind of feel like maybe you should take it with you, but it doesn't feel right, so I'll let you decide what you want to do with that.
I'll put on all my stuff first. Make sure nothing is newly ripped.
No, nothing has changed. Nothing has been moved.
In the night.
Yeah.
I will rip it out of the wood on my way out. Put it in a pocket so I'm not like running down the hall with this dagger in my hand.
Which might lead people to the wrong assumptions.
Yeah, I
that
don't
you
need
were
that kind of attention right now.
a murderer. Next door, similarly sort of attire, except that your feet are absolutely not sticking out the other end of the cover. In fact, the cover could be way shorter and your feet still wouldn't be sticking out of the other end because, well, let's face the fact, you are a halfling. But the rest of the room is kind of very similar. There's a bit of a cold draft coming in. You're watching, spiders in a corner making a little nest. And the bed could have been a little bit more comfortable. Like the rocks that seem to be placed sort of haphazardly in the mattress are kind of like poking into you. But what would someone see as Taven comes awake?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think our attention is going to be drawn as we come in, like, say, through the window into the room. Taven's laying on his side, and he's got no shirt on. And so what we'll see is on his back, his arms, his shoulders, or whatever, he's got a lifetime of battle scars, different victories that he's claimed through his years of being an adventurer. He was a bit of a sword for hire back in the day before he found a certain set of swords that changed his destiny and the destiny of those that he knows. And so those scars are something that he wears. As he's laying there, specifically, there is a voice of a child specifically playing that seems to be running through the room. And he kind of half asleep, Jarvis, it's too early. And then he actually reaches up to go to grab at something. He realizes that he hits a strange wall because he's not at home in his bed. Then he remembers, oh yeah, that's right. And he looks over around the room, thinking about how that damned mallard has convinced him to come along. But he's going to get what he's owed, because that mallard took something very important from him, and he's going to make sure that its weight in gold is given back.
Mm-hmm.
So he just stretches and he kind of puts away a small crick that he has in his shoulder. He reaches for the familiar grasp of the twin swords that actually, when they are put back together in the scabbard then just kind of spins and clicks together. So it looks like one single sword, but when worn a certain way, it's the dual blades that they are. And he just very tenderly, almost like touching a close friend, he just pats the hilt, and he closes his eyes for a moment and nods.
May I ask what you do with the keyring and the keys that you find slipped around the handles of your sword?
So as his eyes are closed, and his fingers, he opens and he looks down, and he hooks one of his little fingers, the left one, the one that's still there, and he slides the keyring off, throws it up, and he grabs him out of the air. He looks at him, and he gets an inquisitive glance because he doesn't know where these came from. But he assumes the mallard put him here.
They're a little old. They're getting a little rusty. There's a ring and 3 or 4 keys on there. The keys are all stamped with the letter R in a kind of engraved, filigreed fashion on the head.
So as he looks at that fancy R, he rubs a finger, a gnarled thumb across one. Ravenghast. He tries to emulate the way that the mallard said it.
Not bad.
Then he tries again. Ravenghast. Yeah, that was better. And he picks him up. He slides him off, and he swings his legs over, jumps down onto the floor. He is a halfling, so now that he's standing on the floor, the bed is about 6 inches above his head. And he's going to, he's got his, under breeches on, so he's going to start getting his armor and stuff on, not taking his periphery off of the keys as they sit there next to his blades.
They have this kind of foreboding feeling about him, not like in an evil sense, but kind of like, they really are the keeper of some dark secret, and you don't know what it is, but there's a familiarity to that feeling, kind of like you know that there's something attached to these keys that's dark and dangerous. You don't know what.
By this time, he's finished getting dressed. His armor is donned. He's wearing a very, I mean, it's not broken down, but it's definitely seen some action before, his armor. And he takes the sword, swings them up, and he hooks them into a certain way. They actually click into his armor so that the straps are like part of it. And the two swords kind of in there, an X across his back. He takes the keys across his fingers, swipes them up. Ravenghast! Yeah, I like that one. And he gets over to the door and he opens the door and shuts it behind him as he moves out into the hall, making his way towards the common area.
You're awoken by the sound of that freaking halfling in his room screaming out Ravenghast, just louder and louder and with more and more emphasis every time.
To fucking kill him. Swear by the end of this, he's going to fucking die.
You're pretty lucky in that your room actually had a window, so there's no draft coming in, which is probably good because you didn't have a blanket. What would someone see as a broom stirs from slumber?
Broom is tall, quite tall, taller than most men, and she is more athletic than most of them as well. She has a aura of strength and viciousness about her. Her eyes, deep blue, as if they could pierce into your very soul. She has a thick face, broad nose from years of fighting, and she carries herself in such a way that anyone that has seen combat at any point in their life recognizes someone else that has seen it for most of her life. She very proudly sits up from the bed, gathers herself, snaps a few creaky bones a little bit, kind of flexing to relieve some of the tension, and simply looks around the room for whatever it was that made the noise in the night that she heard getting placed.
Nothing, actually, oddly enough. Must have been your imagination, perhaps? A dream you were having, or perhaps that damnable halfling in the other room?
She assumes it was the ghosts, because there's ghosts everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to listen for them, and you'll know.
There's no extraneous item in your room. You are, however, missing a dagger. One of your spare knives that you barely ever use. It's just gone. It was there yesterday. You're pretty sure you always check your stuff before you go to bed, but the sheath's still there, but the knife's gone.
Someone's going to pay for that, and they may not like the cost. She immediately sets about to loosening her joints and untightening some of her muscles, doing her morning exercise routine in her room. Quiet as a mouse as she does it, no noise escapes before stepping out into the room, looking past for the damnable halfling.
Meanwhile, at the other end of the hall, stirring in what is one of the most comfortable beds you've ever slept in. Nice, thick mattress, fresh straw, beautiful knit cover that's been patched and fixed. There's even a little vase with a flower, wilted, but a flower nonetheless in it. Like, it was a nice touch. You had a really nice night's sleep, Gloud.
it was kind of short. Like I slept really well for the time that I did, but I did a lot of pacing before that because there was a lot of going back and forth on whether or not to just sneak out and go kill that damnable mallard right now and just be done with this, or take the chance that what he's told me is true and it might be worth dealing with these other folk, and you never know. But so when I wake up, my golden fur is kind of matted to one side, my tongue is hanging out of my jowls, there's just a big strand of drool that's kind of matted my fur back. I'm just in my satin undergarments, which I really like to sleep in because I like the feel of them on my fur. My robes are hanging up over there. Not really sure where my staff went because I remember tripping on it last night and I kicked it. It might be under the bed. I'm not really sure. I try and get that taste out of my mouth.
You might need a hair of the dog.
No, probably.
Well, you get up. There's a little water basin there. You can freshen up if you want. You find your staff.
Before I wash myself off, I'll pour some of that water into my mouth, gargle it, and spit it back in, and then use that to freshen up with.
Don't forget to clean your nose out also.
Right. That would be rough for a dog, I feel like.
Yeah, but you can master anything if you try. You do find your staff. It is, in fact, under your bed somewhere. And yeah, you can get dressed.
Okay. I'll put on my yellow robes, get my diadem, put it on, make sure it's straight in the kind of crusty mirror that's there, and look as fresh as possible as I go out to meet everyone.
And as you turn and your robes kind of swirl around you a little bit, you hear a clink, clink, clink in your pocket that is not normally there.
I'm going to gingerly put my hand in my pocket just to make sure it's not like something. I've seen weird things. Just make sure it's not something that's going to bite me or whatever. Just kind of open it up, glance in.
You feel, you glance in. Oh, I was going to describe what it felt like to touch it, but you glance in and you get a little bit of a glint of red light. And when you kind of move closer to the light, you can see there are 3 finely cut, what look like gems in your pocket that were not there before. They're all cut exactly the same and in this weird kind of star shaped.
I had a decanter of wine last night. I strongly remember coming back and arguing with myself whether or not to kill the mallard. I don't remember gambling and winning these.
No, and in fact, the people of the town are really, really they hate outsiders and they barely speak to you. They barely look at you. They're just kind of dicks, really.
And I didn't see these gems on the person of, Brum or any of the others, and just said, if I did pocket them and don't remember, I definitely don't want them to notice that I pocketed them. So
no, you don't recall seeing them, no.
Okay, I'm gonna take them out and just inspect them.
You take them out, like I said, they're all the same shape, same size, expertly cut. Go ahead and give me mine front, first roll of the night. Go ahead and give me, we'll call it. Well, give me a crafting roll. No, that's not good. Give me a bartering roll. That's not good either. The fuck you gonna give me? Give me an awareness roll. So, reminder that in Dragonbane, we roll d20s, but you have to roll equal to or under the number. So it's a roll below.
All right.
So yeah, give me an awareness.
All right, so I got a 10 on the die, and my base for awareness is 14.
That's pretty good. So the first thing you realize is that they're probably not worth much. They're kind of standard. The cut's nice, but they're not rare or anything, and you'd barely get, a few gold coins out of it. So They're not like the treasure you were hoping for. But when you grab them and you look at them, you can tell that they're a little bit scuffed up and scratched. Like, maybe they were pried out of something, or they go in something and they move around, or so on and so forth. And you also, as you hold them and peer into them, you feel this sort of dread, kind of like a cold shadow that cuts right through you. And you feel almost kind of like a presence from somewhere that is suddenly aware of you. But it fades really quickly.
I'm going to drop them because magic
drop
stuff,
them.
knowing about magic. I just, that's I don't want someone creeping on me. And I'll look around for like a kerchief or something that I can wrap them in.
There's a very nice linen towel that you didn't use when you washed yourself. That was there for you to dry your face with, but it's still there. Nice.
Yeah, I just shook off.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll take that and wrap them up.
No problem.
Tie it, and I'll look into them more later. And I'm just gonna put them in my bag.
No problem. Do you walk out?
Just before, I just want to double check the room. Now that these have been found in my pocket of all things, is there anything else in the room that's misplaced or strange?
The chamber pot is full. You literally, that flagon of ale or wine.
Yeah, I do remember that. I do remember that. Yeah.
It's no
okay.
longer
That's okay.
It has been transformed.
I'm magic. I am magic like that. I can change any drinkable fluid into urine.
That's right.
And then I'll head out.
The four of you emerge from your rooms at the same time, looking at each other down the corridor. The atmosphere in the corridor is similar to the rest of the town, similar to the inn. It's this kind of wan gray light that's not really daylight, not really night. There's a couple of candles that are very, very low, kind of flickering a little bit, barely giving you anything. You hear a little bit of sounds coming from downstairs. You do smell a bit of food cooking. It's not very appetizing, but whatever, it's there. And you stand there looking at each other in this hall.
Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I guess it was a good morning. Is a good morning. Was a good night.
Yeah, I slept wonderful. How about you?
I bet you did. Are we meeting the mallard for breakfast or what?
Does anyone check to see if he's alive?
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if someone else killed him before we got the
right.
chance to.
What room is he in? Should we check?
Yeah,
Is
it's
our-
like
our
in one
meal
of the other
ticket.
rooms across the hall from you.
Sure.
Oh,
Sure be a shame if he was
we're
dead.
down to- Pound, pound, pound. Yo, mallard, wake up.
What's going on? That's not his voice. You hear some grumbling, mumbling. Guy opens the door, standing there in his underwear. Just a human, looking kind of a rough sort. Kind of doesn't really see you, kind of ignores you. You're kind of short, maybe.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. Closes the door.
I look back to the others with a look like, this is the right room, right? I didn't knock on the wrong door. Like,
Did he have any like stray feathers sticking to his body?
Yeah.
No,
shit.
he just looked like he was slipping one off.
Are you sure that was the right room?
I'm not very sure, to be honest, but
Maybe he's down in the common area.
oh, for God's sakes.
I'd rather
Is Brum
check there.
sure
Than...
that was the right room? Because that's a detail that Brum would not have let
It
us
was the right room.
Broom will just curse under her breath and storm off towards the downstairs in search of the mallard.
You storm off downstairs. You arrive. There's maybe 2 or 3 people in the main room. It's very early still. There's some old farmer guy who's sitting in a corner, just sort of eating a little bit of bread from this what looks like a fairly stale loaf and drinking some ale. And there's a barmaid behind the counter who's trying to clean a couple of the dishes. And you hear some clinking and banging from the kitchen.
We'll go over to the barmaid and just place both hands down upon the bar top and look at her with as much sympathy as I can manage and say, "Have you seen Lodril this morning?"
When you
He's
talk to her,
the-
she kind of looks up and seems a little bit surprised. And then after a moment, she kind of averts her gaze and turns around and walks off into the kitchen. Now, I have to say, this is not completely weird. Most of the people in this town have been really standoffish, and they kind of act like you're, they don't like outsiders, and they've been serving you without looking at you and just sort of grumbling and really not a friendly sort.
She will follow her back into the kitchen.
In the kitchen, you see the cook busy washing some vegetables that he's got that look kind of mangy and old, and it's kind of scraping some of the little fur off of him. And there's a big pot of something that's boiling away on the wood stove. The girl's back in there, and she's piling some stuff up on a tray, like some wooden plates that she's going to take up in the front.
Clear my throat.
They both look at you kind of surprised.
I will look at the girl again. I was polite. You were not.
She looks a little afraid now. She looks at the cook. The cook's like, "Don't worry. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry."
I will look at the cook too.
Cook's looking at her like, "It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's all right. Just go back to work. Don't worry about it." And the girl kind of grabs her tray and walks back into the front room.
There is a human sleeping in Lodril's room.
The cook's stirring his pot, and he kind of looks at you, and he's also got a bit of that fear in his eye. And it's like there's people sleeping in a lot of rooms.
Yes, but someone else would have had to have given him that room after the mallard left. And I want to know when that was.
I don't want to offend you, and I don't want to provoke you or anything, but there hasn't been a mallard here in, well, I can't even remember when.
Do you want to become breakfast?
Like I said, I don't mean no offense or anything. I'm just telling you what's what. I'm sorry, I can't help you beyond that. I'm really sorry. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. I have chickens.
We'll turn and walk out.
I think
And then
oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just saying, as Broom comes out, I think that would be when the rest of us have come down in. Any luck in there?
The cook pissing his pants says that there has not been any mallards staying here for many months.
Oh, now I know what not to order for breakfast. Anything. Great.
If you like moldy food and urine, you should definitely have breakfast here.
Well, the security in this place sucks too. And I I pull out the blade that I got and stick it into the table.
You see a blade that it's got old dried blood on it. It's kind of rusty, and when you look at it, you feel a little bit off, like it's kind of wrong somehow.
Do I recognize the blade?
You don't.
This was in my room last night.
Somebody tried to kill you last night?
I slept right through it. I'm a great sleeper. It's just in my room, and I am not happy about the security here.
Oh. Well, I found these, and I spin the keys, and I actually toss them, and ring toss, they go onto the dagger.
Cling, sling, clunk.
I
They got
want
a big R on them. Ravenghast! Oh, should I not say that loud?
When you say that, people in the room kind of jump and look at you, and the old farmer like grabs his food and puts it in his pocket and hightails it out of there, and the girl goes, "Ah!" and then she runs away and goes back inside the kitchen.
too many exclamation points on that. I think it's just one. You need to tone it down a little.
Okay, yeah, sure. All right. Hey,
One's more appropriate.
I'm not a performer. So the nobody knows where the hell he went then, huh? We're just here by ourselves without this guy, right?
Do we
I'm gonna
need
We
walk
definitely
over-
came in with him, right? Last night. I mean, that's our memory.
Do we need the mallard for anything? Like, we've already got the information.
You would just need
Yes.
to get directions to Ravenghast Manor, really.
I don't think we'd have any problems finding our way to a big giant mansion if it's as big as he says it is. But what I'm more concerned about is how are we going to wring his erudite little neck without him here?
Which is probably why he's not here.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm going to walk over to the dagger and keyring. You had indicated, if I'm correct, that both of them are slightly rusted, right?
Yep.
So with Broom's experience in delving into ancient places and, searching ruins and the like, can I tell from examining the two objects if their rust is aged or if it is mistreatment? Like, were they have they just been sitting in water forever, or do they look like the normal type of aging process that occurs to a piece of metal that sits out in the air for too long?
The dagger looks ancient, and it looks like it's age, like it's just been eaten away. The keyring looks like it's just sort of, hanging on a hook that's exposed to the weather and not really kind of caring about it.
While
So
you're,
the duck is gone. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, while you're looking at them, I will pull out that kerchief with the gems in it, and I'll set it in there, like next to the dagger, and just said, he is so done with this already. He's just like, I'm out. I set
Fuck your
the
shit, Jeremy.
right. I'll set
He's
the.
about to come back and cosplay is what's going on.
Maybe he had to go
He's
make
got
some
his
yellow.
Scrooge McDuck mask on.
I would have died
Right.
if my company had that on. I
Could have
would
been great, yeah. No,
That's
it's just
fair.
on my nose, and I thought, no one would.
Yeah, I'll take the kerchief and set it down and gently untie it and just kind of flip it open, but not touch them, and say, I don't remember winning these last night, and I'm pretty sure I didn't have them in my pocket when I went to bed. These were in my robe pocket this morning.
How many gemstones are there?
3?
3. Broom will just reach down and snatch one up.
You might. Okay, yes, that's an effective way of testing things. Yes.
So dagger, keys, cool-looking gems. What did you find?
Nothing. No one would dare come into my room. Are you kidding?
Are you implying that someone would dare come into my room? And I stand up.
Considering the way you sleep, I don't think it would have mattered if anyone had come into your room or not.
Yeah, I heard you're snoring in my room too. So easy there, big guy.
Yeah.
All right.
I was 2 doors down, and I could hear it too.
It's this weather. This weather stuffs me up. I don't
I
like
understand. I understand.
it.
I've got
Can't
some.
breathe.
I have some salve you can put on your chest and breathe in the vapors. It really helps loosen that up.
I don't really want to damage my fur. I mean,
It's great for your
this
fur.
is-
You gotta wash it out, or else it just kind of clumps.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's a texture I want to feel on my chest, but I would probably want to squirt some water up my nose here in a minute or two, just to get this juices flowing.
So how about you holding the gem? Are you going to turn into a chicken or some shit? What's going on with you?
Broom ignores the halfling and just continues examining the gem. Can I see anything obscure, like in the markings or anything?
Nope. Just like I said, some scuff marks and so on and so forth, and they're not really worth much. But they're
large are
cut
they?
in a very... Huh?
How large are they?
I would say fairly not too large, like, I don't know, like an inch and a half across.
So pendant size, not ring sized.
Yeah.
Okay. These look like they were taken from other settings, like jewelry or statuary or something.
Yeah.
Stolen.
Yeah, that would explain the scratch marks. That makes sense. They kind of gave me a squicky feeling that I wasn't really fond of. Do you get any of that?
You have no clue what he's talking about. These are just cheap gems.
You are implying something like a ghostly connection.
I didn't say the G word. That's all you. But it was like somebody was watching me.
The feeling was kind of supernatural, surreal sort of.
Yeah, it was
expression.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those creatures don't bother with me because I deliver them to those places. And I just toss the gem.
Well, my dagger gave me the same feeling. Why don't you touch that and see if anything happens to you this time?
I pick up the dagger, toss it in my hand, twirl it between.
Yeah,
my two
you get
fingers.
kind of a bad, evil vibe off of it.
Oh,
which,
I like this one. I like this one a lot.
I like you.
I'm going to keep this if you do not mind.
No, I do not like holding that thing. You take it. You seem to like it. So
She gets
take
a big toothy grin and just places it into the empty sheath inside of her boot.
Fits about right, but not perfect.
I tap her on the back with my big furry paw. You want a whiskey? Let's get this
No.
day started.
No.
What?
Just to be fair, I don't think that the whiskey here is actually whiskey. I had some last night before the wine, and I'm going to say wine with emphasis on
Even if it was actually whiskey, I do not feel like killing anyone right now.
Well, I want to kill
get
a
it?
certain
Spirits,
so.
spirits. You kill spirits, and it's
No,
whiskey.
I kill people so they become spirits, and then I drink my whiskey.
Oh,
Well, you know what
That's
they say
way
about
darker.
food. Hunger makes the best sauce. So I'm thirsty. Transfer that to liquid. Where's the barmaid here?
As you
She
say
runs
that,
back to the kitchen.
you hear whistling and then a bit of singing coming from outside the inn, and the door opens and this old guy walks in. He's got like a bald pate and a long white beard, and he's dressed in this kind of brown jerkin. He's got a shovel with him, and he comes in. He's like, "She was a pretty little lass that I ever did see. Hey, morning to you, fellas. She was very.
I am so confused right now. This fellow is cheerful.
He walks to the bar. He leans his shovel against the bar. He's like, "She was. What's what? Margaret, are you here? Margaret, is anyone? Is there? Did you just buy this in, maybe? And you're the waiting staff, or what's going on?"
Hey, old timer, you seem a little bit too excited this morning. I can tell you did.
Oh, but it's another morning. I get to get up and go to work. It's a pretty nice thing. You got to be
Right.
old like me. You kind of, start cherishing every moment you get.
Well, I just see that you're excited to be digging a grave or ditch or whatever the hell
Oh
you're
no,
digging.
I'm not a grave digger. I'm a ditch digger.
Oh, okay. Well, then never
Mind you,
mind.
I used to be a grave digger, but that was a long time ago. Now I'm just a ditch digger. You gotta keep up with the times and sort of, renew yourself once in a while. You stay in the same, profession too long, it kind of gets stale. And at some point, you got to be like, what else can I do with my skills? And
That's
Yeah,
fair.
ditch digger.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask if you were happy because you buried some asshole mallard that we were traveling with, and maybe that's why nobody remembers him. Yeah. No, but
No,
you don't know him either. That's cool. Yeah.
Have you seen a mallard?
no. I haven't seen a mallard in a while. Been quite some time since we've had. I mean, I would know. It's not. There's a lot of people here, and mallards do tend to stand out. They're fine people. I quite enjoy conversing with them. I find they have a very interesting take on life, like a different viewpoint that I find is very helpful in sort of broadening your horizons and sort of opening up new avenues of investigation and discourse. It's always quite a treat.
Speaking of different avenues, you seem to be much more chipper than your townsfolk here. What's your name?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, my name is Richardson.
Hello, I'm Cloud.
Cloud. Yeah. Nice to see you again, Cloud.
Yeah. See me again?
Yeah, it's nice to see all of you fellas again. Oh, and lady.
You're kind of throwing us by the use of the word again.
And
when did you see us before?
I don't know. Could have sworn I did. Is this your first time in Skullroot?
As far as we know.
No, but the last time that I was here, you would not have seen me.
Oh, one of those, eh? Yeah, I feel ya. Look, maybe. Who knows? I could have run into you anywhere. I've done everything. I've been an assistant cook, traveling salesman, a rope maker, an undertaker, groundskeeper, a bit of everything. I even worked up at Ravenghast for a spell, so maybe I ran into you, on one of those occasions.
Well, that's good you brought up Ravenghast, see, because I just came into the keys to the place. And we could use it.
You bought that place. Well, fella, you're one fucking squirrely guy. I mean, you're gonna go up there? Woo, Nelly! I don't know that I'd want to go. I used to work up there, and I wouldn't go back up there. Like, yeah, that place is cursed. Let me tell you, that place. I mean, you've heard of curses before, but that place is cursed. Capital C cursed.
I'm learning a lot about curses right now, to be honest. But here's the thing. I want to be serious with you. We want to get up there to Ravenghast, okay?
Yeah.
And but first, I got to ask you really quick here. It's a bit of a contention between me and my companion here. I'll say, pointing at Cloud.
Well, I can say you're a tightly knit bunch. Bonds of friendship will. That's important. It sees you through a lot of shit.
Yeah, we go way back. There was a period of estrangement, but we worked through it.
I'm glad. It's good to to talk with people. Communication is key, I find.
So Richardson, what I want to know is Ravenghast. How would you pronounce that?
Ravenghast? What is there a sound K in there or something I'm not aware of?
Sounds. You know what? Damn it! That sounds like one exclamation point. You were right, Cloud.
I feel like it does.
That doesn't sound like any actually.
Yeah, no, I worked.
It sounds like perhaps a period.
Exclamation point on this. Yeah, it's just my time there is just Ravenghast. You just trying to get the fuck out of there.
It's whoever gets the closest without going over. Everybody knows that's how bets work, okay? And so I'm going to take one of my silver out of my pouch and I'm going to just flick it over to Cloud.
I'll catch it.
Did I lose a bet?
No, I did. But here's the thing, Richardson.
Yeah, what you got?
We want to get up to Ravenghast. We want to figure out what's going on up there. We have some business up there. And then once we're done, we can come back down here and meet with a fella. Okay?
Okay.
So, what do you say? What can you tell us about the area?
I mean, lots of folks come out here searching for fame and treasure, People out here don't much like outsiders. You don't want to get attached, you see. Folk here, no one knows no one returns from Ravenghast ever, so... I mean, just the other day, there was another group of adventurers, much like you went up that way, and, well, I ain't heard of a scene of them from them since. In any case, if you're going to be going up to Ravenghast, there's really only 3 ways to go, and, well, I would say none of them are what you'd call pleasant and scenic.
Go on.
We're not really looking for a vacation. We just need to get there.
That's good.
Right.
Well, so you got 3 things, right? You can either cut straight north, well, but that takes you through to Ravenswood. And that's not good. Now, you could bifurcate over to the east. A bit of a longer trek, but you got to go by the Cursed Orchard. That's not good either. Now, if you were instead to take your way all the way out to the west, bifurcate the forest that way, bifurcate. No,
you keep saying that word.
You might actually notice that I've pulled out like a journal and I'm like writing down what you're saying, but I'm like underlining bifurcate. That is a great word. Great word.
I'm also trying to rhyme a word with it in my head.
But if you go by the west side, you're gonna have to go by the crossroads with the hanging tree, and that's not good.
Hanging tree?
Yeah, you know what
Oh,
used
yeah,
to
it's a-
hang people?
Oh, okay. So it's a tree where they hang people. Well, that doesn't scare us.
I mean, I've kind of come to the conclusion from what you've said, Richardson, that we have not good, not good, not good. We can stay here and eat breakfast, which is also not good. So really, we have.
That's probably the least good, honestly.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards one of the paths away from breakfast here. I have some trail mix and some jerky. I'm fine with that. Why do you say these things are not good?
Wow, it depends. They're all not good for different reasons.
Okay.
Let's say you were going to try to go through the Ravenswood, for example, right? The problem with the Ravenswood is the freaking Gloom Queen. See, the Umbral Court of Fairies is in the Ravenswood. And those things are nasty. You got the Whispering Willows. You got the Shadow Banshees. Right, that's not good either. You got the Night Stalker. That's pretty bad. But then if you get through all of that, you got to deal with the Gloom Queen in the Umbral Court. And, I mean, I hear she's a looker.
Oh, really?
But, yeah, she's, you might be able to deal with her, maybe. She's got some plans, designs, willing to make a deal once in a while. Now, if you go by the Cursed Orchard, now you might be dealing with the Orchard Keepers. Those are pretty bad. Those are pretty annoying. You don't want to be caught eating any of the forbidden apples. There's the Whispering Dryads. Those are a pain in the ass. All of a sudden, you just hear this beautiful little song on the breeze, and it lures you, and you're like, oh, perhaps this tree is in love with me, and then you end up becoming a tree yourself. That's bad. Then, let's not forget the most elusive and dangerous, the Thorn Serpent. It's a colossal creature that slithers through the underbrush and just eats everything it comes across. So it's not good. Not good. Now, if you go to the Crossroads, well, the Crossroads, you see, it's a bad place because it's kind of like a place where different dimensions converge. It's like a nexus of dark energies there, and it draws in all sorts of sinister beings. There's the Shadow Coils. There's the race of the Crossroad. Those are bad too. The Wandering Mourners. You don't want to deal with the Wandering Mourners. They're like these forlorn souls that are trapped between worlds, and their sorrowful moans, they're like laments that just kill you from the inside. And then if you get through all of that, you got to deal with the Keeper of the Veil. Just this strange cloaked figure with this staff that's adorned with dark runes that glows in the night, and well, he's the guardian, and he's there to enforce this cruel balance, and he demands a toll for all who seek to go by. Not good. So, but I mean, the trees are nice.
I might rather have breakfast here.
No. I don't suggest that at all.
Yeah.
Is there anything you left out, though, is what I want to know.
So the Whispering, the Dry.
No, it's okay. I'm going to take your word for it. Richardson, which way would you take if you had to go?
What was the way that you took to go to work when you worked at Ravenghast?
But things weren't that bad back then. Back then, an honest man, which I was, could just take a shovel and walk wherever he wanted. No fear, no problems.
Well, how long ago was that?
Times are changing. Also, I used to live in Ravenghast, so it's not like I had to
You're already there. That makes sense. How long ago was it that you were up there? That all of these things have happened since?
I guess it was around 1909.
What year is it? Anyone? Anyone?
I mean, nothing to you.
Okay.
Look, I mean, every man has got to walk this path, right? Look, you look like you're pretty tough guys and lady. I think you can handle any of it. Just, I don't know, spit in the wind in whatever direction it goes, go down that way. I mean, you're going to die once you get to Ravenghast anyway. So
So it's not that I don't believe Richardson here, but I'm going to take a deep, like I'm sighing. But does there like a reek of whiskey or other?
Right. Yeah.
Like
No, there's just kind of a scent of loam that comes off of him. Kind of a deep, earthy smell. Maybe a bit of mushrooms, but that's about it. In fact, speaking of mushrooms, he pulls out a whole bunch of mushrooms out of his pocket, and he's just kind of eating them, watching you take your breath. Is that the sort of magic spell you're doing there, feller?
You want to trade something for some of those mushrooms?
Oh no, here, man. No, help yourself.
I'll inspect one before I try to eat it, though.
No, they look like nice, big, plump, white mushrooms.
Can I really inspect them just to make sure they're not going to like poison me or do something fucking weird to me if I eat them?
You can give me I mean, wouldn't you eat them if they were going to do something weird to you?
Not today.
it's called science. Just eat
Exactly. Give me a hunting and fishing roll.
Hunting and fishing. Oh, cool. I'm trained in that. I have to beat a 12. Let's see.
Broom
So-
happily steps over and just pops one into her mouth.
So as the die leaves my hand. So okay. So to make sure what I'm doing here. So it says it's agility based.
Yeah.
So I have to roll.
Under.
Okay. It's just a static number. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. I definitely rolled below my 12 with a 3. So
Nice.
as I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, they look like
Chewing it.
they look like pretty awesome mushrooms. You think they're pretty safe?
I'll eat some.
All right.
It's better than the breakfast we're gonna get. So,
Good, eh?
Yeah.
Good, eh?
They're
Yeah.
earthy.
If
Yeah,
these
well,
two look normal, I'll grab one too. If
Yeah,
they're
Sure, go ahead.
fine.
Morels are better, but I don't think they grow this time of year out here. So
How about you, wizard?
I'm like busy writing things down and like kind of watching to see if like any of their pupils dilate, they start frothing at the mouth, anything like that.
Not bad.
Sure. Why not?
All right. Yeah. Best mushrooms always grow on top of graves.
I could not agree
Mhm.
more.
Well,
Well,
for these two, you're not wrong.
It doesn't look like I'm going to get any service here, so I guess I
know.
might as well get to work. Hey, look, you.
Just wait, and I go back to the kitchen and I pop my head in the door. Do I see the cook?
They
and
kind of jump when you.
with a big, toothy smile, I say, I'm leaving, but I will be back, and you have customers waiting. for you."
The waitress faints.
And
The
I
cook's
just
like,
chuck-
Margaret!
I just chuckle. I just chuckle. They'll be out in a few minutes. They have to wake someone up.
All right. No problem. It's not like the ditch is going anywhere.
But
it
hopefully
certainly is
not.
Well, look, whichever path you take, I hope it takes you to the riches and joy that you deserve, because we all deserve a little joy in our lives, and you look like fine people.
I could not agree more. Thank you, sir. And I just start walking towards the door.
Arrivederci.
thanks a lot, Richardson.
Thank you, Richardson.
Thank you for the delicious mushrooms too.
Here, take the rest of them.
No problem. Thanks again. And I
No
bring them
problem.
out to everybody.
Nice. I'll put some.
Take care now.
I'll
Have a
follow.
good trip.
I'll follow Broom outside.
So,
Outside.
Raven,
Outside, let me give you a little. The people here match their surroundings. They move about the streets with bowed heads and somber expressions, as if carrying the weight of centuries of sorrow. Their clothing is simple and drab in various shades of gray and black. They speak in hushed tones, their conversations laden with a sense of melancholy. They avoid your gaze, pretending you're not even there, unwilling to engage with any outsiders. The weight of ages-long curses hang over them like a funeral pall. At the heart of the village, you find the centerpiece of this macabre place, a massive tree with a trunk shaped like a sinister skull. Its hollow eye socket seems to follow you as you move, and its twisted, gnarled branches stretch out like skeletal fingers, casting long, eerie shadows. The tree, surrounded by a small cobblestone plaza and a few benches scattered around it, remain unoccupied, as if no one dares to linger too close to this eerie monument.
I immediately am walking towards the tree.
It's so pretty.
As you approach the tree, you can't shape the feeling that you've stepped into a forgotten chapter of a dark fairy tale. The air is heavy with a sense of foreboding. It's a place that time has left behind, where the line between reality and fantasy blurs, and the past lingers in the present like a haunting specter.
Brum just happily leans her back up against the tree and crosses her arms as she waits for the others to walk over.
So that wasn't here yesterday, right? I mean,
Yeah,
you
that was
noticed-
there yesterday. It was there yesterday.
Okay. then
Well, this
never
was there
mind.
yesterday. Yeah.
Everything happened last night.
In that context, though, because I feel like these are details that Brum would notice, are there any differences between what we saw yesterday and what we see today?
None whatsoever.
Okay. So Broom kind of merrily leans.
Literally, also you'll check the sky, you check where the sun is, you check the constellations, and like it's.
Broom just kind of leans up against the tree and says, "So, Ravenswood?"
I was thinking the crossroads personally. This convergence of planes really has me interested.
What do you think, Gilroy?
Picking like mushroom mush out from my teeth because it's really hard to kind of tongue it out. So I'm like,
I mean, I like the Ravenswood description. If I had to say I liked it out of any of them.
that's fair. That's fair.
Well, I think what we have to ask ourselves is not necessarily which way do we want to go, is which way would Lodril have gone?
Oh, do you think he's trying to
Lodril's
beat us to the punch?
shifty. He probably went
knows?
that Nexus way.
But if we're trying to find him, it might not necessarily be the way that we're thinking.
You know, I keep this 6-sided die in my pocket for making decisions when I just really have a hard time with it. We could just roll.
Do you play that weird-ass game that all the kids are playing in the taverns now? With the papers?
Oh, and
weird
the
maps
like
and
little
shit?
pewter figures that look like
corporations and landlords.
Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't gotten I'm usually studying my magic a little too much, but maybe one day after I find the rest of my grimoire and hunt down my
Steve, it wasn't an invitation.
former teacher.
Does this game involve taking your clothes off too? Because I
What
played
is it
that
with
one.
you, man? You're like thirsty as you're hitting on her. Now you're talking about taking your clothes off. I mean, what's going on here?
I wasn't hitting on her. I admire her.
Well, that's kind of the same thing where I come from.
I
but
don't want to with her, but
Well, I mean, who knows? The path gets cold and lonely sometimes in the middle of the night. That's all I'm saying. But
I
anyway,
admire her prowess.
You keep telling yourself that wishful thinking always helps on those lonely nights.
What if we like?
I'm not
since
saying I'm hitting
we're-
on anybody. I think you're misconstruing me
gonna-
here.
I'm just gonna
Go
roll this.
Roll it, Cloud. Roll it.
Damn it! I rolled it and I didn't really say what it was for.
Okay.
What
so-
number did you get?
Well, I got a 6.
That means Ravenswood.
That
Okay.
means Ravenswood,
That
definitely.
means
That's
we
good.
go to all of them, right?
No.
Look, I don't
we can
care about
bifurcate them.
Do we have extra sessions?
I care about the place that I might get laid.
Laid.
So Ravenswood is where I'm planning on going.
Is that
I'm
because
not
there's
sure.
Fae there?
Did you say laid?
The orchard is probably where you'd want to go for that. There's a centaur there, but anyways.
Don't worry, Gilroy. I think you. I'll kind of like nudge Gilroy. I think it's working. Okay, just. Stay
No,
cool.
there's the Queen of the Fae.
Stay frosty.
What did you
okay?
think I was talking about?
Oh, oh, you're like that. Okay, that's cool. I don't judge. That's cool. All right.
We'll see.
You know, my former teacher used to have this book about like tantric sex positions with Fae that they invented. I
Please
could
tell
definitely
me you have this book.
I did steal some pages that I can show you.
So wait a minute, your teacher invented this positions, or
No, it was like a Fae realm book that he stole, and before he ditched me and all that, I just slipped some pages out while he wasn't looking for research purposes.
Of
I am
course.
starting
course.
to actually like you.
Are they illustrated?
Well, of course.
A description might suffice, but illustrations would be so much more informative.
I hope someone's making clips.
If not, we will.
Right?
So please,
All right.
Galt, I would
The
very much
Ravenswood.
appreciate then if you could bring your research and your ample knowledge of things into this Ravenswood with me.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
And
So
I
if you-
assume that you are tagging along, Short One. Isn't that
Short
what your
One?
people do?
Holy
Wow.
shit, Taven, you're still
Wow.
here. When did
That's-
you get here?
That's just I
gonna-
didn't.
Are you gonna
I
take
didn't-
that?
Okay.
I wouldn't take that.
You know what? It's all good because you
You
know
want me
what?
to punch someone for you?
I don't need
Oh.
anybody to hurt anybody for me. Okay.
Okay. Well, if you do. Here.
Please, doggy, I beg you to try.
So
Okay,
which way
now
was
I
the
am getting a little
Ravenwood?
excited. Ravenswood it is, right?
Then let
So
us
if you
go.
take a gander over at Albert, you'll see the map of the area, and you'll see where you're in Skull Root down there, and the Hanging Tree, the Crossroad Orients, and the Cursed Orchard are your three choices. And you've decided to go through the Ravenswood.
Oh, that's the most
As we-
direct path.
As we
Yeah,
depart, Broom
definitely.
places, as she's getting up off of the tree, and before she walks away, she turns and places a single hand on it, and she utters under her breath a kind of prayer, almost, and then starts walking away.
Gilroy makes a mental note not to pee on that tree. Seems wise.
So
You-
does his breeches have a special flap for?
You don't know.
That's why the robes are just really the easiest.
They're freeing, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. My friends, as you step to the heart of Ravenswood, you find yourselves ensnared by an eerie, otherworldly beauty that seems to have been crafted by the hands of a dark, whimsical artist. The forest is a living tapestry of twisted trees and gnarled branches that stretches outwards, casting long, sinister shadows that dance to an unseen, haunting melody. The air is thick with an enchanting, smoky mist, making it difficult to discern the true boundaries of this enigmatic realm. The trees themselves seem to harbor a malevolent intelligence, their roots reaching out like skeletal fingers to trip unwary travelers, and every shadow seems to linger a presence, wicked and spiteful, watchful and stalking. You feel as if the very forest itself resents your intrusion and is prepared to pull you deep down into its darkened soil, where likely it will spend some nights slowly digesting you, before returning your bones to the surface to be picked at by the strange creatures that dart through the branches and skulk about the underbrush.
Oh,
My
I
friend.
love this place so much.
Please,
To be fair, there is a lot to take notes on here. It's a good choice. I like it.
give me a smattering of bushcraft and hunting and fishing. Choose one, roll it, tell me what you get.
That is a natural 1 bushcraft roll.
Nice. You really do feel at home here. Like, you could live here very happily.
I failed.
I got some mushroom stuff in my fur, and so I'm just trying to lick that clean while we're walking around. I'm not really paying attention.
Taven?
I apologize. I was typing a message to the group. What are we rolling?
Hunting and fishing or bushcraft.
Oh, hunting and fishing for sure.
I think Gilroy was trying to think about what rhymed with tree and gloom and mist. That's why he failed.
I succeed. 9 is under 12. So
Okay, so one of each. That's good. So going through this forest. With your 2 successes, you're good. You manage to find food when you need it. You manage to find good places to rest here and there. You do realize you're being watched all along the way, but you don't really catch any sight of whispering willows or night stalkers or shadow banshees or any of that. I mean, it's not, it's not an unpleasant place to be. It's a little, gothic, but it's not bad. The trees are nice, and
Every hour that we walk through and I see no signs of any of those things, I get more and more angry.
So maybe Richardson was eating different kinds of mushrooms before he came in.
you will eventually. It'll take you about 2, like a day and some to get through. So eventually you're able to find a nice little spot to kind of get a little camp going. You get a little fire. You set up your camping equipment. You got some fresh game that Taven was able to catch along the way. Look, the deer was kind of a strange color. You've never really seen a kind of darkish purple deer before, but, meat tastes good. So
I'll try anything once.
yeah. So you are able to get a nice little spot, get some rest. I want to know, do you set up any sort of watch during the night? Because some shit's going to happen, of course, during the night. And I just want to know who's going to be, on watch when it happens.
Oh, I think we should definitely set up a watch.
Yes to the watch.
100%.
I
So,
agree.
Do we want
So
to
you're all
2
going
and
to
2 it?
take turns,
You
basically?
concur.
Do we
right.
want to 2 and 2 it?
Yeah, I think we should
No.
bifurcate it. And 2 of us should.
Yeah, let's bifurcate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
The
So
big bifurcation.
who's
of the
going to
night.
bifurcate with who?
I'll share a watch with Gilroy unless there's a different.
Well,
way people
I'm
want to
taking
split
the
it up.
first watch, so whichever one, whoever's
Cloud has
doing
to
that.
show me some pages from a book, so
Oh, right. But if you're gonna take those off by yourself, I need you to
why would I need to go by myself?
Okay, that's fair, but we're supposed to be on watch and
So watch.
not looking at the. I'll pull the pages out.
Jeez, scandalous.
This is where we fade to black.
Right.
Yes.
So you start pulling out the pages. The camera fades to black. When the camera comes back up, Gloud is adjusting his robes, and Broom is washing all the mud off of her body, just kind of scraping it all off with like a knife or something.
No,
There's
she's using
kind of a
Cloud's,
strained relation. There's kind of
Cloud's
a,
wooden staff to scrape it all off.
and there's kind of a, an awkward tension between the two. Like maybe things didn't go the way someone thought they might.
That's never happened to me before. I'll own it. It's
Sure. You're not the first man to have ever said that to me. That's why I don't do men anymore. It's not worth the effort.
That's fair. That's fair.
Go ahead and one of you two give me a d20 roll.
Do you wish
I
to do it?
regret sleeping through that.
I'll how about a 10? We'll go right in the middle.
Fuck, that's like the worst thing you could have rolled. All right.
Yay!
The other 2 of us got killed in the middle of the night.
Right.
Yep.
No,
Blood
but
splatter all over the tent.
nothing happens. You kind of clean yourselves off, and eventually it's time to wake up the other 2 for their shift. The 2 of you wake up covered in mud. You don't fucking know how the fuck that happened, but
We do?
splattered in mud. Yeah, the 2 of you just kind of splattered in
What
a
in
lot
the
of mud.
world?
Talk to Cloud in the morning. He will be happy to explain it, I'm sure.
I'm writing shit down right at the moment.
I want to talk to him right now. Why am I dirty?
You can see I'm like drawing weird figures in a book. They don't really look natural.
Broom is very
Okay.
flexible. Just
I gotta
she has the
say,
contortionist heroic ability. She is extremely flexible.
I gotta say, Gilroy, I had no idea that this was how your work was going to pan out. But hey, it's what it is, I guess.
And
For
Gilroy, you do.
mortals, you are rather entertaining. You hear a voice coming through the trees. It is an ethereal voice. It's at once filled with promise and also a little hint of darkness. You notice now that what you thought were trees surrounding your campsite are actually some sort of strange beings, as the branches have turned into menacing arms. The knots have become eyes. The crooked bark in the trunk now looks like a maw waiting to happen. And from between the trees steps a woman. I will put the picture on the map here, but I think our friend Jeremy will show it to the audience. This woman steps out, and I can't find the picture. Where is it? I'll put it here on the map so that you can see it. Her skin is golden and metallic looking. Her horns curl around her head, ending up in sharp red points. Her face is strange. There are no features, but whenever you look at it, they seem to move and morph, and whatever faces you've seen in the past that you found attractive, for a moment you can glimpse them in her visage. Her armor has the shape of this spider's maw on top of it. She carries a staff that just, you don't know why, but it just kind of feels like it's not a weapon, but rather an implement of some sort. Like it's used for, well, you'll find out. Her hooves of a dark purple, the color of night. And she steps through and she says, "What brings you to the woods of the Gloom Queen? Speak. I shall know who you are and what you want before I allow you to die."
So Taven's hands shoot up to his swords, and in complete unison, they both come out with those, and there's like a weird like echoing sound as they spin through the air and into hand. And there's almost like a blur that you guys would notice as they move in perfect unison. And then he is into a battle-ready stance.
Entertaining.
As Taven jumps into that, we're going to go to break.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah!
Nice.
Got it in.
And I have to say, hey, good job, Bleak, for embracing the things you don't like with the spider armor. I kudos to you.
No problem. I go the extra distance for my folks.
So we'll be back in 5 minutes, and we'll see you then.
Abercrombie and Fitch.
Is it now? What am I supposed to do?
I'm muted. What?
Pineapple?
Is this thing on?
No, aardvark. Aardvark is the safety word.
We're back
Oh, are we live?
in some form.
We could have multiple safety words. That's not confusing.
Right? Peanut butter aardvark.
My safety word is harder.
It is. Always confusing.
Mine
The
is
worst.
don't stop. It gets really weird.
Thank you for joining us. We're back. When we left our frenemies, you had just woken up in the middle of the Ravenswood to be confronted with a bunch of angry shadow tree ants and the Gloom Queen herself, who has appeared before you in all her glory. You have pulled weapons, maybe peed in your pants a little bit, but
I don't wear pants. Ha!
You stand now, some of you covered in mud. You stand now around your campfire, facing the Gloom Queen, whose face reminds you of all the people you've ever found attractive in your life. She cocks a hip and says, well, you are in my home, so I would suggest you make introductions.
Well, so my swords are out, and I'll point one of them in her direction. You're not her.
No, but I could be.
There was none other.
What about this one? And you see somebody else that you almost, but it goes back to. Oh, very dedicated man. I appreciate that. That's a quality that is very difficult to find these days. You still haven't told me who you are and why you're in my woods.
My ears are back in like discomfort. It's obvious that I'm holding myself in a very awkward manner because I can't figure out why Tavin's mom's face keeps showing up. But I will.
Shots fired across the bar.
But I will take a deep breath.
Hey, my mom's dead, man.
Why do you think the image keeps popping up?
Oh, God. I'm gonna leave this to Brum because I broke myself. Sorry. Go ahead.
Brum is just kind of standing back, very relaxed, seeing this person across the way. There's an almost sorrowful sigh that escapes her, and she's just looking at the figure,
Seeing herself in it.
Seeing that tree back in town.
as interesting as
Richardson?
all of as interesting
Gilroy
as all
seeing
of this,
Richardson.
as interesting as all of this is,
Hmm.
I don't think it overly matters much who we are. I am certain that you think that our presence here is enough to disquiet whatever notions you have in your head for doing something to us. So get it over with, I guess.
No, it's just that it's, well, you know, before you get busy with someone, you sort of want to know at least their name. We're not going to fight. What do you think this is? This is the Ravenswood. It's a civilized place. Please, put away your weapons. I'm merely interested in what you have to offer me as tribute for passing through my land safely. She comes over and she sits down on a log near the fire, and you see the trees are kind of like moving very menacingly, and you realize it's about double the number of trees there used to be. And there's like a tight circle of trees around you, and they all seem very kind of malevolent, and one of them is kind of flexing a little bit.
Well, we did grant you a free audience to the show earlier.
It was nothing I had ever seen before.
So you wrote the book that his professor has.
It's a small world.
Book.
Look, do you recognize my face since you're so worldly? Queen
No,
of Dark.
if I knew who you were, I wouldn't be asking you what your name is.
I'm Taven Grimjaw, a monster slayer. I've gone all across these lands killing monsters for money. And you're no different. You'll let us pass, and we'll get to the Ravenghast. So, let me try that again.
We're going to Ravenghast.
Ravenghast! Was that one or two?
As you
That
say
was
that, you
two.
hear
That's two again.
as a bunch of ravens fly off from the trees. You hadn't even noticed they were there. But now that they're gone, you realize that what you thought was a dark sky over the trees was actually all these ravens that were tightly packed there. And as you say, Ravenghast, they'll fly off, explode into this ruffle of feathers. And she goes, "Oh, you're going to Ravenghast. Oh, that's fascinating. Can we transact?"
As
all you will see
Taven,
for me is the end of this, and I'll wave the sword.
as Taven is introducing himself, I will lean over to Gilroy, I think, and just be like, "Oh, he's that Taven. I always thought he was taller."
She says, "Two small
Most
ones
tall
don't make
people
up for a
do.
big one."
Listen, lady, we just want to get by.
I
What
know.
kind of transaction are you looking for?
Well, now
and
that I
I
know a
am-
little bit more about you.
I am stroking my maul. Ready
Not
to
a euphemism.
not at all. It's
That's
very
a
thick.
very impressive instrument you have there.
That's
Now
what
that I
they
know
tell
It's
me.
great even.
a little bit more about you, well, we could perhaps start discussions there. You're going to Ravenghast. I assume you were hoping to kill the demon, free the people, cleanse the place, all the good stuff.
We're looking for treasure.
Oh, I hear there's some of that there too, but surely you're no, okay, you're in it for the treasure, yes. Well, there's certainly some treasure there. You'll be happy to know I want no part of it. I don't want any treasure. I don't need any of it. I would, however, I would love the manor. If you promise that you are going there to cleanse it and that you will take whatever treasure you want from it, hell, you can take the tapestries for all I care, but that you will leave it empty for me to occupy after you've gone and you've gotten rid of the ill-tempered demon that lives there, I would be more than happy to afford you safe passage through the Ravenswood, there and back.
So
You're-
Broom, for what it's worth, has never took out her blades, right? Because unless she is certain that she is about to kill someone, she does not pull her blades. And as she scrapes off some of the remnant mud off of her shoulder or some such, she looks at this figure and kind of has a toothy, broad smile and says, "Done."
Very well. Let's seal the pack. She gets up and she goes over to one of the trees, and the tree lowers one of its branches and she snaps off kind of a little twig from it. And she's kind of weaving it as she comes over to you. And she goes, "Show me your wrist." Oh,
We don't make deals with monsters, Broom. What are you doing?
We
They're
don't
not
need
a
this house
monster.
after.
Oh, may I
We
place
know
this
nothing
around your
about
wrist?
the manor. Who knows what she wants it for?
Who cares?
I do.
Okay.
The little
What
ones
do
are
you,
always
what
trying
do you,
to make up for
what do you
something.
care about more? Getting what you want and then getting revenge on the mallard, or figuring out where this person's curses come from? Because this person is cursed. And if you don't recognize that, if you only see them as a monster, that's a limitation that you should correct.
Oh, my.
You know, you have a pretty tough way of talking when I haven't seen you do anything other than just judge others. Do you have
Oh,
any
yeah.
sort of way you want to back up what you believe in?
I
Do you know
back
why
up
they
that-
call me Grimjaw? And he points
Because-
to a diagonal
You have a
scar
dirty
that he
mouth?
has that curls up and goes across his lips and then up through his cheek. Earned. Defending those who couldn't defend themselves. Don't tell me I don't understand what a deal entails. And we don't deal with things like this. I don't, anyway.
I am sorry that you feel that way.
So, do we have an entente?
I would agree to such a thing.
Can I put this around your wrist, please?
Hmm.
She's holding that little woven bracelet she's made out of that twig.
Brum
It holds
just holds her wrist forward.
She puts it around, and when she does, it kind of closes itself off, and then it starts to sprout little leaves You count maybe 10 or 12 leaves around it. These leaves will fall occasionally. Once you have made good on your end of the bargain and traveled back through the Ravenswood, because this will give you safe passage, it will simply wither and fall off. However, if you should not hold your part of the bargain, the leaves will begin to fall off, and once they have all fallen off, this thing will kill you. Understood?
What if she
Perfectly.
dies before all the leaves fall off?
Then
it is
she's
irrelevant.
killed.
I mean, does your
This
little bargain still play out? What if we
well,
clear out
any
the
of
manor
you-
for you, but we don't
Yes,
leave
if any of you wish to also enter into a bargain with me, we can have the same deal.
I don't actually have a problem with this.
No,
I just
fine.
want the treasure,
Gets another little twig and starts.
and I want to beat up that duck. I'll reach my arm out.
Puts it around your arm. I'll be careful with the fur, and she
Please do.
tightens around, and then these little leaves sprout around it.
Well, hopefully you have some sense about yourself, Cloud.
As you look at Gloud, I am just kind of watching all of this, gripping my staff, again, not a euphemism, and looks like I'm ready for something just in case, but just kind of watching. So in my head, I'm wondering why this apparently have we heard of this Umbral Queen before? Is this a creature of legend, or?
You can go ahead and make a myths and legends roll.
I like it. All right, I got a 9. I don't know if that's good enough though. Hang on.
Yeah, you just have to roll under equal or under to your stat. Right now, I'm looking at your stat. It's
14. I got a
14.
14. Nice.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, you've heard there are stories. I would say like there are stories in like fairy tale books and things like that about the Gloom Queen. I wouldn't say you've heard that there's very definitely a Gloom Queen somewhere,
Right.
but it's definitely a popular figure in a lot of children's fairy tales books and things of that nature.
So can I assume that this Gloom Queen is powerful?
You would know enough about magic to know that there's probably not a lot of not real going on. Like you would think that you're probably like in the shit, like in the real stuff.
Okay. I am completely fine with everything as is. I am not going to offer up my wrist. I am just going to watch, and like if she looks my way, I'll smile awkwardly, because it's really hard to smile with a face that looks like this, and just kind of wait. So if two of us signing up for this strange deal is fine, hooray.
Wunderbar. It's perfectly fine. The other two will just have to take their chances. Now, I will grant you safe passage to Ravenghast because I do want you to accomplish this. But on the way back, you'll be on your own, or you may try to circumnavigate the forest if you would like.
Thought maybe we would bifurcate.
You beat me by 1 second.
Me too.
Why would you use that word? It's not even the right word for what we're talking
What?
about.
No,
You
but
know,
we're going
that's
to
actually-
bifurcate to...
That's actually what I thought when he kept saying it so much, but hey, you know.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, then.
I'm pretty sure that's what it means. I wrote it down when I learned the word earlier.
You were today years old when you learned to bifurcate.
Is the compensating fellow going to try to kill me, or are we good?
I mean, it's likely.
Oh, well. I should
Look at
make
his
an interesting
face.
2 minutes.
He's gonna try.
Or he'll blow a blood vessel and you won't have to worry about it.
Well, I'm not worried. Do I look worried? I'm not worried.
So Taven, we should probably get going. What do you think? Go check out your keys in that place. Ravenghast.
Yeah, it suddenly got very unwelcoming here.
Well, best of luck. do come back and see me sometime. Especially you. And she kind of winks at Broom.
Happily. Very happily.
Oh, and you too, she points at Gilroy. Bring that hammer.
I'll stroke it one more time, then I'll put it back in my pack.
The trees start to back up somewhat. You can see that the sky overhead is gray and overcast. It's morning. The trees move, and you can see a clear path moving out of it. The Gloom Queen herself is already in the shadows beneath the trees. And she says, "Good luck in Ravenghast." Disappears.
Yeah, fuck off.
I'm sorry that you're angry, but it seemed like the safe way to go. I mean, we want to get to the house, so...
Seemed like the safe way to go. Well, I didn't make a deal, and neither did Gloud,
Safe
and we're
for
still
you.
able to go through, so...
Well, if we get out, you might be having problems getting back. But then there's
Well-
that whole bifurcation thing that might happen.
Well, I mean, what I can tell you is she's lucky that I've calmed down a lot in the last 9 years, so...
You know,
She's very lucky.
We might end
Let's
up
go.
having to like bifurcate the group so that you two come back this way and get the whole friendship bracelet thing taken care of, and
Yeah, well...
Taven and I will probably go a different direction that's maybe safer for us.
Yeah, can you, like, levitate or fly or something? You can get us just out of here that way?
Yeah, I could absolutely go out that way.
You could go out that way.
Right.
I didn't mishear that. Yeah. Well, whatever we have to do to make sure that Broom is going to be nice and safe and secure, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like Ibram and
Oh, Broom just has this amazing smile on her face.
And so Taven will just push past them and just start storming through the front. You guys can definitely tell he's got some like pent up anger, frustration. There's layers to this. This isn't just he didn't like this person. You can tell there's like a deeply seated, one might even say his character's weakness built into this, that like he's flat out like does not like this lady, does not like monsters, doesn't want to deal with any of this, and so he's just kind of working through that. So he's silent, but he storms past everybody. But you guys catch up quick because he's a halfling. So.
yeah. In my head, you were like walking around being all like, "Fuck this rock, fuck this branch, fuck this bush."
Fuck your couch, Charlie Murphy.
As you continue traveling along this dark and strange woods, I would like you all to give me an awareness roll.
And after we're out of range of where I think this Gloom Queen is, I do want to sidle up next to Brum and just be like, "So how is it that this very powerful being can't take care of this problem at Ravenghast themselves?"
Because they are cursed.
What do you mean by that? You mentioned it earlier.
Well, yes, all beings like that cannot leave a certain place without certain actions being taken or certain things happening, they are cursed.
Oh, fascinating. I'm going to pull out a journal. So you're saying that the deal you entered into with the queen there is allowing her curse to expand, alter?
No, I mean, I don't know exactly what her curse specifically is, but I assume it has something to do with the manor and the fiend or whatever it is that is there. She cannot return to it, and she is drawn to it because that is the place where she is supposed to exist, and she can't right now, and so she is cursed to be in the Ravenswood and cannot do anything about that until the Ravenghast is dealt with. It's simple. This is not the first time such things have happened. All you have to do is delve into ancient ruins or find some long forgotten manuscript of, religious importance, and those stories exist in history throughout time.
I mean, this is just like the first time that I've had a chance to really like, talk with someone like that. And usually like Taven just murders them before I have the chance to really have that conversation. So, yeah, that was interesting.
You've traveled with Taven for a long time?
Not a whole bunch, but, a little bit.
Sorry about his anger issues.
I mean, they're not my fault. Mostly.
No.
I don't think so.
It doesn't matter whose fault they are. Some people have to go their own path to dealing with them. And as she says that, she kind of reaches down into her tunic and pulls out a chain. And on the end of the chain, there is a larger, thick chain that is broken in a couple of places and looks like it's been kind of welded back together to serve as a pendant on the chain that she wears around her neck. And she holds the thick pendant, the broken chain link pendant up, and she says, "I've already walked my path a long time ago." And she just kind of tucks it back into her shirt.
Do I get any sense of magic off of it or meaning?
No, you just intuitively understand that it's important to her.
Okay.
And it's the kind of fairly recognizable as the kind of chain that a slave might wear.
Gotcha. Okay.
Gilroy has his book out too. Oh, sorry.
One day he will finish walking his path and his anger will not go away, but he will be able to handle it a lot better than what he showed with that interaction.
Gilroy's reading?
He has his book out and he is now trying to rhyme with bifurcate, mediate, alleviate,
Integrate.
clear the state, fruit on the plate, love your mate, don't suffocate.
Fulfill your fate.
At 98, we all rotate.
And also roll me awareness checks.
Oh, right. I
9
beat
under
by
10.
2. Right.
I got 18 over 12.
I surprisingly have not failed any rolls yet. I got a 2 under 10.
So everyone except Broom, as you're walking through the forest, and you can kind of get a sense that you're coming near the end of it. First things first, those of you who don't have bracelets, you fucking keep tripping. Fucking birds are flying by, dropping goop on you. Branches are scratching you in the face. There's constantly bees and
Bees!
fucking yellow jackets and wasps after you. You're tripping on the on roots.
But I did not make a deal with a monster. Hey,
just tons of annoying stuff. But at some point, the three of you except Broom, as you're walking along the path, you get the unmistakable and actually somewhat overwhelming stench of blood that just suddenly hits you like a wall. But it's not just blood. There's also the stench of decomposing meat rotting out in the sun. You hear the buzzing of flies. You see in the underbrush carrion just kind of skittering about and sort of darting off at your approach.
Absolutely smells that Broom is far too familiar with and is just kind of inured to it. Wouldn't pick up anyway.
Would you like to do?
Is there any like specific type of like? Does it smell like like a charnel house, like where they killed pigs or something like that, or does it smell more like a battlefield?
Yeah, I would say more the first one.
Okay.
And it's just up ahead. You're on the sort of road, but it's definitely just up ahead.
Does everyone...
What's ahead on the Ravenswood that we should be aware of?
Is
Is there anything they told us on the map? Things we should watch out for? There's an abattoir up here. There's.
Brum kind of looks at all three of them and is just kind of quizzically, is something wrong?
You don't
there's
smell that?
Yeah.
No.
Fairly pungent. It's probably your weaker sense of smell. It's okay. It's okay.
Do you not smell stuff at all, or just not this?
I mean, I have been punched in the face quite a number of times, and my nose has been broken at least 4. So sometimes I don't necessarily smell things. I'm more of a listener and the spotter than, sniffing. I leave that sort of thing to dog people.
Dog people.
Cool.
Dog people like us.
Sure.
Well, it's okay. She called me a dog person too, and I'm clearly not a dog person. But hey, you know
I
what?
called
Consider
you
yourself.
a short person. I called you short.
Oh boy. You know,
You know,
I mean,
us-
to be fair, most people are shorter than me, so
That is fair. Even I'm shorter than you, and that's impressive.
How tall are you?
me?
You're probably not taller than me. Yeah.
I'm like 6'4".
Okay, maybe we see eye to eye, but not on this dog people issue.
Do you have something you'd rather be called? I'm happy to call you something else. It's just
Gilroy.
most okay.
I
Most
mean,
wore an itsy bitsy teeny weeny little bucket. What? Is that how it goes?
So Cloud,
bikini she wore. I don't remember. How does it go? You hear coming from down the road.
So there's someone up ahead. Let's go and check them out.
Weeny.
do we recognize the voice at all? Do we recognize the voice?
Yeah, you do.
Oh,
Is
Dead.
it Richardson?
Yeah.
oh.
Now, why couldn't he just take us out here like we fucking asked earlier? And I'll storm ahead to go confront him.
oh,
You
we
storm ahead. Oh, sorry.
I
go ahead.
pat Cloud's shoulder and I'm like, "Oh, you need to work with him, my friend." And just walk ahead, laughing.
we should probably make sure he doesn't kill the poor old man.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
As you walk ahead, you first come upon, you can check at the map on the Owlbear, this little glade open area. It looks like a little place that you could have like a nice little campsite. And when you approach, this is where you realize the stench of blood and rotting meat is coming from. You see 4 figures splayed out, very clearly having been butchered, slaughtered while at their camp. The animals have gotten to them. Their entrails are spilled and hanging sort of all over the place. Their skin is already kind of all swollen up and gone black in places. They look kind of like adventurers. They have, the same kind of gear you have, swords and weapons and cloaks and stuff like that. And as you approach them, still singing, comes around the corner somewhere, as soon as I find. Oh, having difficulty with.
As soon as we see these bodies, Broom is like holding her hands up. It's like, I didn't kill them. This one was not me. I would never leave people in such a mess as this. I have much more respect for the dead than this. Okay? Just saying right now.
I didn't think this was you, but
Good.
glad for having the clarification.
Are we going to have a problem with the bodies? I mean, I think I got the guild rules over here, and he kind of pulls out his book. You can look on the map here for the friend that's just shown up. Salvage rights and all that. I think you're probably within my territory, but I'll tell you what, since you're, 4 of you, and you look kind of armed and kind of, I mean, if you want to take the bodies, maybe we can kind of work out some sort of deal where, because I came from pretty far to get these, and I'd hate to just leave empty-handed. So, is there Hey, do we know each other?
Richardson, what are you doing out here, man? What?
Oh, we do know each other. I'm sorry, your name escapes me, though, son.
I just kind of look back to the others. He said that he knew us before.
You seem kind of familiar.
And he doesn't know us now. That
Have we met under some other, perhaps, less funeral circumstance? In any case, are you here for the bodies?
no.
Oh, did you make the bodies? And he kind of takes a step back and holds up a shovel.
Definitely
No.
not.
Oh, I'll take your word for it. You seem like good enough people. He plants a shovel.
No,
then
we
if
were
you're not
just
for the
here.
bodies-
No, we were here to inspect the bodies to
Yeah.
see what did this. As
Are you next to kin?
Yes.
we're investigators.
Oh,
At the
am
same
I?
time that you said yes.
Oh, I'm confused and very sorry at the same time. Well, look, I'm not one to stand between a kin and a dearly deceased. So please, if you wish, I'll turn my back and everything. Do what you need to do. Just try to keep it civilized. And he kind of turns and she wore an itsy bitsy teeny weeny, and he kind of looks over his shoulder.
What's this guy
I do Ibram just when he says, keep things civilized. I'm a little worried for a moment, but I think it's going to be okay.
So, I'll turn to the group. So, what exactly? Okay, this is a little bit beyond me. I kill things sometimes. Okay. Gloud, do you have any sort of idea what this is? What's going on? Like,
Oh well,
why
I
does
was
he not?
I was
why does he not
definitely going
remember who we are?
to I was definitely going to take a quick or a close look at the bodies, and I've also found, as I'm kind of like picking through, I also found that when you find dead things or make things dead on your journeys, you should always make sure that there aren't any valuables left behind that will just go to waste in the sun or the forest in this case, and just kind of picking through to see what's on them.
So we start by everyone making myths and legends rolls. If you don't have a bracelet, you're at disadvantage, which means you roll 2 dice and take the highest one.
Oh.
Is that the same as having a bane?
Yeah.
Okay.
9 under 12.
Myths and legends. Ooh.
13 over 5.
I failed.
Nice. 10. Beat it by 4.
So anyone who's made the roll, you recognize the older man. There's one human who's older in the bunch. You recognize him as Bertram Irongrip. Bertram is a very well-known. So in Outskirt, the big town, there is a major Dungeoneers Guild, and the Dungeoneers Guild has a search and rescue operations unit that when adventurers get lost, they go and find them. And Bertram is one of the top guys, one of the top retrieval guys. He's kind of a bounty hunter, retrieval guy also, from the Dungeoneering Guild. So that's the first thing that you realize if you made the roll. The next thing you realize is that there's a little bit of treasure, and we'll look into it in a second. But Bertram also has a letter on him in one of his pockets.
So I will hand the letter to Gloud, and then I will kind of, stand up and just shake my head from side to side. And I will say, I guess I should have taken that contract on him 2 years ago. He was a lot easier to kill, apparently, than I thought.
We don't know what did this.
Doesn't matter.
That is true.
Someone was putting up a contract to have him murdered, and I did not take it because I assumed that a man of his importance and reputation would not be an easy kill. The fact that he died in the woods, surrounded by his companions, and let animals or whatever it is eat his entrails.
You do notice they
Amazing.
don't have little bracelets.
You might want to, well, never mind, Taven.
Just stick close to us.
You fellas just about done. I would like to get home before dinner if it's okay with you.
While the
I gotta pick these
conversation
up, clean them, embalm them. It's just a long process, you know.
while the conversation is going on, I'm going to pop open that letter.
All right. While you're at it, you can all roll me two. Let's say, yeah, everyone roll me 2d10s and then keep them on the side, and we'll get back to them momentarily.
What
Can
could
we
go
determine
wrong?
What killed these guys, or is that what these rolls are for?
No, it's not for that.
Okay.
These guys were definitely. The best way to describe it is if you were to be attacked and mauled by a bunch of trees, this is probably what you'd look like.
I hate when that happens.
Bet you wish you had one of these now, don't you?
And
Okay,
his name
somebody
is,
read from the Necronomicon. We're really in trouble now.
Right?
His name is Bertram Hollister, by the way. I messed up. Anyways, the letter reads, Dear Bertram, I hope this letter finds you well. I was glad to hear of your success in hunting down the Barrow White Reaper. It's a good thing that his reign of terror has ended. I have another job for you. This one should prove a little easier. It appears 4 adventurers have disappeared, and their loved ones have gathered together to raise your fee in the hopes that you, the greatest tracker of all time, will agree to pick up their trail and try to find them. It appears these 4 adventurers, their names are Glaud Van Marnix, Taven Grimjaw, Brum Blackshadow, and Gilroy. Just Gilroy. I don't know. It's bad branding, but maybe it's like that famous halfling bard who was just called Bard. Remember him? I saw him perform in Novum once. Fabulous evening. In any case, I digress. These 4 adventurers had signed up with that charlatan Lodril the Learned, or the Sage, or whatever his name is, to go treasure hunting. They've been going on a year now, and their loved ones dearly miss them. Along with your fee, they included personal messages to be given to them once you find them. For Glaud, please tell Glaud I know what he did, always slipping little presents in my pocket. It was always so charming. I regret now that I never acted out on my impulses. What I feel for Glaud, for his kindness, it has blossomed into so much more than simple friendship. I may be a kleptomaniac, but it is Glaud who has stolen my heart. Please tell him to return to me. If my promise of love won't do it, tell him I took one of the chapters from his master's grimoire and I've been hiding it. Signed, Ariana Redstream.
And I'm not going to read the others. That's not my business. So if there are other notes, I'm going to hand them off to the others. But I will wipe a little moisture that's built up mysteriously in my eye. I'm not really sure what's going on there. Just kind of wipe that away. And then I'll ask Gilroy, do you think you could come up with some words that rhyme with kleptomaniac for me?
Nymphomaniac?
Give me a minute.
Room has
Awesome.
one.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll work on that.
So do you want to read the rest of the letter, and then I'll read everybody else's little
Oh
bits
yeah,
off?
if there's more letter, totally.
There's more. All right. I'll read the other bits off though first, just because. So as you read your little things, for Broom, my name is Jory, and life here on the streets of Greystone is drab and joyless without Broom. Not to mention harsh. I'm being picked on again without Broom's protection. If you find Broom, please tell him I'm doing my best, looking out for trouble, but I would ever be so grateful if they returned home. I'd go find Broom myself, but, well, I'm afraid. Signed, Jory. For Taven, please find my daddy. Signed, Jarrus. Included is an old teddy bear as bonus payment. for Gilroy. There was no letter, just a piece of the worst poetry imaginable. I burnt it. She did pay with a silver chain around her that she had around her neck with a red heart-shaped pendant on it, though, so maybe you can mention that when you find him.
He paid with it? Oh, Jasmine.
I'm going to fucking kill that mallard when we find him.
I thought
The rest
that
of
was
the
a
letter
given.
reads... Sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The rest of the letter reads, I'm including, as usual, half the fee up front. The rest will be available to you and your team upon completion of the mission. Last known whereabouts of this gang of luckless treasure hunters was a small village called Skullroot out by Ravenghast Manor. Yes, I know. They went to Ravenghast. Who does that? Talk about asking for it. In any case, hope you're well. Kiss Dagna for me and give my best to the kids. Let's get together over the holidays and let me know if you find those poor fools. Ciao for now. Captain Nora Bendrick, Search and Rescue Operations, Outskirt Dungeoneers Guild. P.S. No one cares about that lying fool Lodrill. Don't bother with him.
Well, at least they won't be looking for the mallard.
So Taven just takes the teddy bear and he just lowers his head. And then he tucks it into the front of his armor, his studded leather armor, so it's just like a little teddy bear head. He's like riding beside him.
I do want to point out, that it says that you've been gone for about a year, but you've actually been gone for a little over a week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, we noticed that.
It's even like the long journey. Shit.
So...
Everything all right? Those are pretty rough letters to read there. You okay? Anyone need a hug? Can I turn back around now?
I could use a hug.
The bodies?
Yeah. Are you giving out hugs? Oh.
Bring her in.
Thank you.
Bring her in. Yeah. I'm a little bony, but you know.
That's all right. That's all right.
Pretty nice hug.
I won't squeeze him too hard.
Oh, wet dog. All right. Thanks.
I don't need a hug.
Yeah, I think I'm all
I need a
hugged out.
punching bag.
So Richardson.
He lifts up his shovel. Not me, Shirley.
Out of curiosity,
You don't deserve
Richardson,
it.
what year is it?
Oh, I don't know. What year is it? It's around 1909.
Yeah, that still doesn't mean anything to any of us. Okay.
Yeah, no.
How many different jobs have you had, Richardson?
Oh, I've quite had a number of jobs. Like I was a first mate and cabin boy before that, but let's not talk about that. I've been a notary. I did work for a while over at Ravenghast Manor, but those days are long gone. Right now I'm an undertaker.
But not a ditch digger, though, huh?
I never do that. I got standards.
Right.
What did you have for breakfast?
French toast with. So see, my wife got this syrup for the French toast that's got like the taste of butter already in it. So now I don't know if I should put butter on my French toast or if that's going. But it's not the real taste of butter, right? It's kind of like this kind of off butter taste. But then if I don't put butter, I kind of miss the butter. But if I put it, it's kind of too buttery. So I'm like, I really don't know what to do anymore.
There's a little strand of drool that just drops out of my mouth.
Well, I'll tell you, Richardson, my son says that you can never have too much butter, so I'd say go for it. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, he passed the teddy bear. Hope he's all right wherever he is.
Yeah.
You done pilfering the bodies? Can I get to it or?
Oh, I'm just gonna quick glance. Do any of them appear to be magic users of any sort?
Well, okay. So you rolled d10s earlier, right?
Yeah.
So let's go around the table. Give me your numbers, and I'll tell you what you find.
11.
11. You find a sack of gold coins on one of them, worth 4 gold coins.
I thought we had to roll d10s.
You probably
You added them up,
together.
right? It's all right. Works out anyways. So 10 and a 1. So 10 was the coin. 1 would be copper coins, so that's not even as interesting. That's 7 copper coins.
Okay.
Miko,
8 and a 5.
you found a dagger that appears to have a little groove in it, and there's a little bit of a greenish liquid that's kind of trapped in that groove. So it is a poisoned dagger. Please give me a
Perfect
evade
for
roll.
you.
Give me an evade roll.
Oh.
Shit.
Don't cut
Did
yourself
not do
shaving.
4 under 14.
All right. Well, you managed to handle it without cutting yourself. So there's enough. Give me a D3 roll.
Six.
All right. It is a sleeping poison, and it is potency 12.
All right.
What was your other number?
5.
5. You find a gemstone. Give me a D6.
Six.
A beautiful diamond worth 100 gold.
Nice.
Kevin,
I got a 2.
you find an instrument. Give me a D6 roll.
Sure.
One of them apparently was a bard.
1.
A horn.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. It's a little bit like filled with blood right now, but you can probably get that out.
I'll shake it off, and I'll kind of string it, and it'll kind of sling down onto the side next to the other horn I have hanging there.
Blow it out.
Very horny. Give me another number.
My other number was 3. So a 2 and a 3 were my 2 numbers.
All right. And you find coin also. You find 2 gold coin. Big haul.
Oh.
And Shell,
I rolled a 10.
you find a golden ring.
Ooh.
At first glance, looks to be worth probably in excess of 200 gold, but it also has kind of a weird little tingly feeling about it. What was your other number?
Might like that. Also an 8.
Also an 8. All right, I'll go and get a pack. Hold on.
Well, I mean, not also. I didn't also roll 2 8s. In addition to the 10 I rolled.
Oh, that's fine. You find a piece of armor or shield. Roll a d6.
2.
A 2. You find a large shield. It has the head of a ram on it. Right now, it's also kind of covered in blood, but it's still pretty good quality shield.
Okay.
I look at everyone else like picking their stuff up, and I look at the fucking pouch of copper. I just toss it back. Actually, I'm gonna give it to Richardson.
Oh! Well, aren't you kind? Thank you very much.
Don't mention it.
Is that
Don't mention
copper?
it.
Oh, that's all right. I don't need it. Thanks.
Don't you put copper coins on the eyes of the bodies on some of them before you bury them?
Not me. I mean, if the family wants to do that, that's their lookout. But I mean, I'd go freaking broke if I was to do that myself.
So take the copper and give it to the families that want to do that.
All right. He reaches, grabs the copper, puts it in his pocket. Right. You done? Causing outrage to a corpse?
One quick thing before we walk off here, Richardson.
Yes, sir.
Sometime from now, you're going to see us at a tavern back in the town, right? We're going to share some mushrooms, okay?
Oh, I don't like mushrooms. They upset my stomach.
Okay, well, we're going to share some mushrooms, and I want you to say something very specific to the 4 of us, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I need you to say
Bifurcate.
things.
No?
Well, you're going to say that already. No, I need you to say this exactly. That Lodril tricked us again. We should turn around now.
Okay. All right. I'll remember that.
Repeat it back real quick. I gotta make sure.
Son, Lodril done tricked you again.
And
I don't know. You fell for it twice, so shame on you.
we turn back. Don't go any further.
Oh, yeah. Turn back. Don't go any further. And certainly don't go to Ravenghast.
Right. And you even got it with one exclamation point. Good man, Richardson. And I'll slap him on the ass.
Oh, yeah. That's my bad hit. But that's okay. Yeah. That's fine. No, that's good. We're good. We're good. We're good.
And I'll look to the others, and I'm just going to say, I'm going to try something.
He's not going to kill me, is he?
I don't think so.
Let's get to this manor and see what the hell's going on, yeah?
Okay.
I didn't exactly leave my son with a babysitter, so.
Who did you leave your son with?
No one. He was just like, I'm just stepping out for cigarettes.
And milk.
When you get back, just explain that you had to get the cow, raise it from being a baby into a cow that could produce milk.
Oh, yeah.
It took some
time. To learn how to
time.
properly milk a cow.
Right. Could take years.
Yeah, there's extensive training involved in that.
Years, days even.
Handle and udder.
You step back cautiously into the dark, gothic forest that surrounds Ravenghast Manor. Its ancient trees looming like silent sentinels in the eerie twilight world that envelops this enigmatic estate. The air is heavy with the scent of damp earth and decay, and the muffled hush of the forest seems to absorb even the faintest of sounds. The trees here are grotesque and twisted, their gnarled branches clawing at the dimly lit sky as if trying to escape from this very shadowed realm. Their leaves are a deep, foreboding shade of black, whispering secrets to the wind that rustles through their ominous canopy. A dense fog blankets the forest floor, obscuring your path and lending an ethereal quality to the surroundings. It's as if the very atmosphere is conspiring to disorient and unsettle any who dare to venture into this haunted woodland. Amidst the oppressive darkness, strange and elusive creatures stir. Somewhere in the distance you hear the mournful cries of a night wraith that pierces the silence. You see spectral forms drifting through the mist like vengeful spirits. They are the guardians of this cursed domain, protectors of the secrets that lie within. Hidden beneath the tangled underbrush. Sorry. I skipped ahead way too far here. As you venture deeper into this eerie forest, you are drawn inexorably towards the looming silhouette of Ravenghast Manor, its ominous spires and crumbling facade, a beacon of dread in the encroaching darkness. The forest that surrounds it is a realm of haunting beauty and unfathomable peril, a twilight world where the boundary between the living and the dead blurs, and the secrets of the past are woven to the very fabric of the land. You find yourselves finally approaching Ravenghast. Manor. What would you like to do? You're outside the finely wrought iron gate. The metal rusted, cracked.
Think anybody's home?
Probably
Should we knock?
No. I mean, it's haunted, right? I mean, who's going to answer? We have keys.
That is true. We do have keys.
Just
Real quick, how long do you think it's going to take for us to get through there and sanctify or purify or bifurcate or whatever the hell it is we're going to do with this place?
Apparently there's some kind of spirit or demon or something in here that we need to evict and or remove in some kind of way.
That's all we have to deal with is the one thing?
I mean,
I think it's going to depend a lot on how this curse that we now have affects us when we do this.
Well,
because we are cursed now.
Are we all cursed?
I would think so, considering it was all four of us that had the interesting circumstances with the letter and the two different versions of Richardson and all of that circumstance.
That's fair.
All four of us.
I mean, I'm just saying that not all of us did the bracelet with the Gloom Queen, but some of us did, and so maybe, I'm just hoping that maybe not all of us are cursed.
I don't think it's
two of us are
related.
protected.
Yeah, I don't think it's related to the deal that was struck with the Queen. Whatever is inside of this place is likely whatever cursed us. So perhaps it will be our method for ending it. We shall see.
I have to agree with this magnificent lady here.
Well, all I know is that if I don't get back with some sort of amazing ass explanation as to why I literally was going to be gone for a month and I've been gone for a year, my wife is never going to let me see the kid again. So we got to figure this out.
I mean, you got the keys.
Okay, well, I'm just letting you know that I'm all about, a snappy pace, okay?
I
We
mean,
see it, we kill it, we move
I'll
on.
try
You know
to
what I'm saying?
keep up.
I mean, it's only 1909 right now, so maybe when we get back, it'll be the normal. We won't have been gone so long.
Yeah, you never know.
It's just a thought. I hope that we haven't been gone a
you
year
see-
or two.
You see this, Broom? This right here, this is how you talk to people in an instilling way that makes people feel good about themselves. They feel like they want to work as a team. Take a lesson here, okay? Not whatever this thing you're doing with the all nasty and we get it, okay? You're scary, but
Are you saying that you want to form a team and go and murder people with me?
no.
Because that's what I do for a living. I
Okay,
don't
give
know
me
if
back
that
the
was
fucking key
clear.
ring. Let's get inside here.
I never took the key ring from you.
Wait, you
It's
don't have
yours.
your keys?
I didn't take it back off the table in the inn.
Did we
Wait,
leave
we
the keys
left
at
all
the
that
end?
shit. Oh no, wait, it's in my pocket here.
Oh, good.
I took the dagger. I left the gems and the keys for you fools.
I hold my hand up to the keys.
After a couple
Clink.
tries, you find the correct one, and with a bit of an effort, because it's kind of all rusted, you manage to open it. And as you swing the gates open,
The entire time, my ears are just like twitching.
Yeah, mine are down.
Mine are
Right.
twitching.
you approach Ravenghast Manor with trepidation. It's a dark presence looming over you, over this world like a nightmare come to life. The manor itself is a sprawling, decrepit edifice. Its once grand architecture now marred by time and decay. Its towering spires pierce the gloom, reaching towards the heavens. The facade of the manor is weathered and foreboding, its stone walls draped in ivy and shadow. Tattered curtains hang from shattered windows, their movements erratic in the restless winds that sweep through the desolate grounds. Surrounding Ravenghast Manors, the grounds are a labyrinth of overgrown gardens and crumbling statues, their features worn away by the relentless passage of time. The air is thick with scent of decay. At the edge of the manor's ground, you see a mausoleum, a crypt of eerie beauty and foreboding. Its stone doors bear intricate carvings depicting scenes of death and rebirth, and the air around it seems to shiver with an otherworldly energy. Shadows dance along its walls, hinting at the restless spirits that dwell within. Standing next sentinel near the mausoleum is a strange monolith, a red and black obelisk that defies explanations. Its surface is covered in cryptic runes that seem to shift and writhe, as if alive with some malevolent intent. The monolith casts a deep, unsettling aura over the area, and those who dare to draw near find themselves entranced by the movements of the runes.
Quick question for you.
Yeah.
To cast a spell, do I need to do a check or anything, or do I just cast it.
Yeah, you roll on your you have a magic skill or whatever.
I do.
That's what you roll. So your mentalism, it's based on your intelligence. What's your intelligence?
18.
18, so your base chance is 7, so 14 in your case.
Okay. Fill that in.
Oh, I thought that meant he had to roll below 18. I was like, hell yeah.
Right.
So there's a base chance based on your attribute.
Right.
Nice. So I'm going to, as we walk in and just kind of looking around and all the creepiness that's going on, I'm going to reach down and grab like a handful of pebbles to kind of crush them up in my hand and whisper some words and drop them over myself. And as they like plink off of my fur and everything, I start to take on a grayish hue. And I'm casting Stone Skin on myself.
Okay. Spend the willpower, and Bob's your uncle.
Oh, that Bob.
Hey, Cloud, you're a magic guy. Can you look at my ring I just got? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
you get a vibe off of it? I feel tingly, but I don't know what that means. I don't really want to put it on if I don't. I mean, you know.
I totally know. I'm going to look at it.
Could be problematic.
Is the tingling from when you pee or just all the time?
No, it burns when I pee. Oh, you were talking to her. Right. Never mind.
So give me a roll your magic there, my friend.
I could
your
tell you
magic.
exactly what that is if you want.
The burning?
No, it's a halfling cock ring.
Wow.
It's awfully big.
Without even turning, Taven just goes, too small for me.
So did you make your mentalism roll?
I did. If for casting the spell or for...
No, for
Identifying the ring.
Gotcha. That is a 3 under 14.
Yeah.
So as you reach out and cast your mind and sort of try to ascertain the power of this ring, you get the feeling that it's a ring that has a regenerative property to it. It's hard to tell
Miko was
exactly
right.
what it regenerates. but-
So it's like a ring of like endurance.
Shrinks it.
Like
You don't know. You'd have to put it on to kind of.
Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me.
what do you put it on? Is it? Can I tell? Like
What
your
do you
finger.
Put it on?
Do you put it on?
What else would you put it on?
I just want to. I'm just checking because after after Brum's.
Focus. We don't have a lot of time. Are you putting it on or not?
I'm not. You're right.
Really early,
Totally
but now
yours.
we're getting close to the ending, and I want to get to a certain point.
Boop. I'll put it on.
You put it
Middle
on.
finger.
Cool.
Interesting choice of finger.
Right.
Thanks.
You will find that it regenerates willpower.
Ah, nice.
Oh, that's probably better for. Okay, well, I'm not gonna say anything.
As you approach, you have the house, you have the mausoleum, and you have the monolith that are kind of all of interest. So, where do you go?
That monolith kind of gives me the creeps.
Yeah.
Um.
But we
But
should go
of-
there first.
Yeah, of all the things, like if there's a demon thing, don't you think that weird structure would be tied to it instead of like, the mausoleum? That's where you put dead people, right? And the house you live in. So although the Umbro Queen
One
did
point.
say,
1 point first. Let us assume that whatever this curse is doing to us has caused us to be here once before. What is your first instinct? Is your first instinct to go to the monolith?
yeah,
Yes.
Then we should go to our second instinct.
that'd be the house, the manor.
Agreed.
What do you think,
But how
Gilroy?
do we know the first time we didn't go to the first and the second choice and then the third choice? Maybe we should pick the third choice. How do we know we should do the second choice?
Well, if we can assume we've been here before, we can assume that the same series of events that brought us here are the same. So therefore, we just found out that my son's been without a babysitter for a year. So I would want to go right to the house to get everything handled and situated. But that mausoleum, I'm sorry, that monolith. Thank you. I didn't want to say big stony penis. That's wrong. But the monolith.
I mean, it is kind of shaped like that.
Yeah, it drew all of our attention. So we would have all gone there. So, dare I say it? It makes a lot of sense what you're saying, Broom.
I'll go wherever you guys want. It's just hard to guess.
We could
I
roll
feel great
for
with
it.
this though, so let's go.
Let's go.
All right.
Where are you
To the
going?
house.
To the manor.
Um,
To the manor.
To the mausoleum.
To the manor, and I start storming.
You
Maybe we
start
should all
storming
split up.
towards the manor. As you approach, you hear, "Oh, back again, are you?"
Oh, Jesus.
Son of a
See,
bitch.
we can't guess this stuff. Are you kidding me? That fucker.
This is what I saw before.
Back again.
I'm just gonna say hi, Richardson, and I'm gonna keep walking towards
Oh,
the house.
Hell yeah.
Richardson, this is my favorite pair of pants you're wearing
I was
yet.
about to say the same. It's good. I like it.
Oh, thank you. My wife made me.
She's really
They're,
talented.
they're kind of extendy, so there's kind of room when you sit down. It's
Mm-hmm.
very comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Taven's just ignoring him. So it's Taven and Broom are just kind of moving past this guy. We're not dealing.
What's he doing?
He's just right now kind of bewildered. Look at he's holding a shovel and kind of looking at you like, what?
Did it look like he was digging, or was he just kind of meandering in?
Yeah, no clue. He kind of just came around from around the house, I think. When you head to the front door, of course, is locked.
Key.
Take my swords. Then I'll take the keys out, fiddle with them until I find the one that works. If one of them works.
Yes, one of them does work.
I'll open the door then.
You push open the door, and as you push open the door, Richardson's like, "Okay, well, better luck than last time." And he turns around and he walks away. And as you push the door, you get this scent of blood again that sort of wafts over you.
Oh, look, a pentagram.
Oh, look. Bodies.
As you open the doors, you see a kind of foyer. There's a nice big double staircase that leads up. There is a kind of strange symbol etched into the floor that is glowing. There's a statue at the base of the stairs there that is quite upsetting to look at, of some ancient demonic creature with a large maw and hooves and a sword, and it's just kind of upsetting. And you see on the ground the four of you dead. Over here you see Broom, over here Glaude and Gilroy, and having kind of managed to crawl away a little bit is Taven, but he's also quite dead.
Well, shit.
As
I
macabre
find
as
this
it is,
extremely upsetting.
yeah. As macabre as it is there any familiarity to that statue?
Nope.
Okay. I'm just gonna go poke myself, make sure I'm dead.
Oh, you're very dead. You're very dead. As you kind of look around, also, it kind of looks like you've fought each other.
Huh.
Oh, hell.
And I died. That doesn't
Yo.
make sense.
What do my wounds look like?
Yeah.
Who did it?
There's a lot of stab wounds kind of all over the place. It kind of looks like Glaude didn't manage to get off a spell or anything. Perhaps he was killed first. His throat was slashed, perhaps from behind.
Broom?
Yeah, I
looked-
glance over at Cloud's body and said, "That's my work."
You, Gilroy, have a knife in your back. Taven has been killed with several blade cuts, and so has Broom.
Well, nobody's been bludgeoned to death, so we
Right.
can say that I haven't done anything. to
And
you
me
guys.
either. Yeah, none of my spells, and I didn't hit anyone with my stick.
So you guys murdered us and yourselves.
Maybe we
To be
could.
fair, I probably murdered the both of you and got at least a couple of hits in on the little one before he managed to gut me. You can see that Broom is like remarkably unfazed by any of this. She's actually looking at the wounds on her body, and then she looks over at Taven and is like, "Hey, that's a good hit what you did there. I am pretty damn good at protecting, you know, my abdomen like that. It's good on you, my friend."
So
It's kind of a mess, isn't it?
oh, Richardson, you gotta not do that.
Sorry.
You
I
can't
kind of
sneak up on
like
us.
that. Sorry, yeah, my wife's always telling me you're always lurking, Richardson. What's wrong with you? I'm sorry.
So I
So
really
what
just want to.
You know, here's a good opportunity for you, Mr. Richardson, to find a new line of work. Gravedigger, I think, suits you.
Gravedigger. Why would I want to do that? That's very macabre. You have a very dark sense of humor.
It's
man.
one of the most valued services to the people in existence and history.
Well,
Probably
I
the
gotta
oldest
admit
job
that I
ever.
think my employment here is probably coming to an end. But
Well,
What
there
is
you
it?
go.
What is it that
Looking
you
for
do
new
here?
work.
I'm the
He's a
groundskeeper.
groundskeeper. We know that.
Yeah. Oh look!
If-
This
you say
looks
it's
like,
coming to an end? I mean,
yeah.
shouldn't it have already come to an end?
Well, no, I'm just saying that if everyone's dead in here, I'm guessing there's no one's going to pay my salary chit at the end of the week. So
Well, Taven here is the new owner.
that's nice, but yeah, I think I'm kind of done.
I'm gonna
From
kneel down.
the back room, by the way, you hear music playing like an organ, and there's kind of a swaying song that's playing.
Okay. I just want to try and verify that this is me. I'm
It is.
I'm gonna check
It
my
is.
pockets. Are those gems in the pocket?
That's a fucking good question.
Thanks.
No problem. They totally are.
Okay. I'm gonna take them out. Do they give me the same creepy feeling? And are there also 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
Does my dead body have the key ring?
Yep.
So I'll take that, and then I'll hand it to Cloud. In case we get split up, we should have more than one key to this place, yeah?
I like your thinking. And I'll take the keys.
So we have
And who
2
knows?
sets of keys?
Yeah, and I mean, this happens again, we'll each get a set.
Like, this is crossing the streams. It's not good.
But you got to do
So
it at
what,
the
folks?
end to save the day.
You do, yeah.
Tell you what, folks. Let's skedaddle on out of here. I'm getting too much of a sense of deja vu here, and it's always a little unsettling. Look, best of luck this time. And whatever you do. And I'm not fooling. I'm not fooling. Whatever you do, do not unlock the mausoleum. I'm not fooling. Don't unlock the mausoleum.
Why?
There's something in there.
Did we last time?
No, but you put it in there. And I'm assuming that if you put it in there last time, you're not going to want to open it up now. I'm just telling you. I'm not fooling. Don't open it.
I'll
How
like
did we die?
kind
if
of nudge. Right.
I don't know. You were inside the house. I don't go inside the house. I'm the groundskeeper. I'm not the housekeeper.
So is this the second time you've seen us here, Richardson?
Well, I don't know. It's kind of hazy.
Are
Do
there
you-
more of us in the corpse form somewhere else that you know of on the grounds?
Not on the grounds. I've been pretty good at putting those away. I mean, there's tons of people that have come here over time. I'm pretty
So
sure
you are,
go in there.
you
you're gonna find
are, so you are a gravedigger.
some- No, I didn't say anything about digging graves.
Just putting them away.
Yeah, you just
Cleaning
put
the
them up by
grounds.
the monolith and eventually they
Maintenance.
disappear.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's kind of
Okay.
creepy. It's kind of creepy when you think about it. I mean, it really sucks 'cause my shed's right there, right? And I sleep at night, and out the window I see that thing. It's very upsetting, and my wife has a lot of difficulty sleeping. But, you know.
Oh, is your wife
well,
here?
No, she's dead.
You live in the shed over there, though?
Yeah, that's the groundskeeper's shed, and I'm the groundskeeper, so I live in the groundskeeper's shed. Seems logical to me in any case.
It's logical, yes.
So yeah, well, look, it's been nice. I'll give that grave digging thing. What about ditch digging? There's something appealing in that. I don't know.
Do you like
Something.
mushrooms?
What French
All
toast?
right.
If you like
yeah.
ditch digging, you can. If you like mushrooms and ditch
Mushrooms.
digging, I think this is the way to go.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
best mushrooms always grow in the head of graves.
Oh, my grandma used to say that. All right, well, look, I'm going to take my shovel here, and I'm going to fuck off. Look, best of luck in there. Don't open the mausoleum. I'm not kidding. Don't open it. Doodaloo! Puts his shovel on his shoulder. Girl from Ipanema goes walking. He saunters off and disappears off the ground.
I'm just gonna shut the door. What if Richardson is this demon thing? I'm just gonna throw that out there to you, nice folks. Yeah.
I mean, who wears pants like that?
I mean,
Demons.
I'm a little jealous of his pants because if I were to wear pants, they would look like that. But
For me, it
Completely
has more
different.
to do with the general demeanor of the man. It's been a little off.
Well,
Off-
here's
off
what
is
I
a good
think.
word.
Let's maybe open that fucking mausoleum, right? I
you know, it's the first thing I wanted to do when he said, "Don't do it."
I'll point down.
Open it. Yep.
I'll point down to our bodies. I mean, we're already dead, so
This time.
I'm going to go back to what I said earlier. I think that we should second guess our first instincts to do something.
Oh, that is fair. You did say
Because
that.
I feel like we have done this now before. And I feel like I need to try to emphasize things that I would not normally do. So something previously happened in which I did what I normally do, which is kill people, and just kind of gestures to the bodies on the floor. So now I am thinking that I want to go with my next thing first instead. And my ears are telling me that there is music coming from inside of this place. And I am wanting instead to investigate that. Because like you, as soon as he said, don't open the mausoleum, well, of course, I wanted to do that.
See, but I don't know if you've ever been to like a show, like a stage show, where they play music like
yes.
what's playing here, and it's always like the creepiest crap that happens while they're playing music like what's playing here. And I feel like maybe I've been kind of trying to keep it out of my attention because I don't really want to find out what it is that's making that noise.
I go to such shows all of the time, and if you remember correctly, when those musics start to play, that's when the plot thickens.
That's
That's
fair.
when we start to actually learn things.
So you think it's coming from that room right over there?
There's
We
a
should
big
head
metal
towards the
door,
music.
and then there's a big wooden door, and it seems to come from the wooden door of the north.
I mean, we wouldn't hear it if it was behind the metal doors. It's
What-
got to be the wooden ones.
Why don't we go listen at the door?
Sure.
I stare for a long moment at Broom, and then I'll just walk across the room and I'll kick open that wooden door.
Ah!
As you kick open that wooden door, and the music swells and sort of wafts over you. That's where we'll stop for tonight.
Nice.
I am starting to like this little short person more and more every passing moment.
No one else does. Not true.
Well,
Sure.
Well, I was talking about,
Sure.
we could just split the party,
Right.
Split the keys now.
Bifurcate the party. Bifurcate.
Bifurcate the party.
that would not be our first choice.
Maybe we should defenestrate the party.
Oh,
That's a word.
I did see windows on the map.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yes.
Yep. And that map was supposed to be shadowed. I don't know why the shadow didn't stick, but there you go. It
It's all
doesn't
good.
matter. You guys played it anyways. So there you are. You made it
Nice.
to Ravenghast.
Do you have any outro information for us, or should we reintroduce ourselves, re-outroduce ourselves?
I don't really have. Come back next week for the second and last part and see if these guys managed to get themselves killed again.
Nice.
I did. I will say this. I did in chat this week promise a TPK.
In our chat,
Did you
Yep.
promise it?
And you know what? We're all dead. So,
right? Dun
And
dun.
I delivered.
Oh.
the-
So
Nice.
I'm just saying, I'm probably going to deliver on other things that I've said.
I feel like that's a loophole.
Right.
Man of his word, gang.
Loophole.
Nice.
Dead.
Awesome.
Well,
deal with
I
it.
appreciate
We are
you coming
dead.
and GMing for the children in the room, which is,
Yeah, absolutely.
at least Miko, Kevin, and I. I'm not going to speak for Shelly. Shelly, if you want to say that you're being a big child tonight too, I'll agree with that.
Tonight?
I just want to be with everyone else. I want to fit in.
Shelly just wants to belong.
Right?
Yeah.
Shelly, why don't you tell
I
us
just
about
wanna-
yourself again and who you played and where to find you on the interwebs?
Okay. I'm Shelly. You can find me on Blue Sky and Threads as Hey, it's Flea Monkey. Tonight I played Gilroy, the Grey Wolfkin
Nice.
fighter, who
With your
hasn't really gotten a
big,
fight yet.
Great
Yeah.
maul.
Yeah, / something else. Who knows?
I'm getting the sense that Gilroy is more a lover than a fighter.
Gilroy is multifaceted.
Right.
Gilroy is whatever Gilroy needs to be.
In the moment.
In the
Gilroy is branded perfectly.
Miko, why don't you tell us who you played and where to find you on the interwebs?
Hi there, I am Miko. I played the wonderfully delightful murderess known as Brum. You can find me on most all of the socials at _KS_GM, or without the underscore in the places where those things aren't allowed. Yeah, other than that, you can find me here on Wanderer's Haven most of the time, including this coming Wednesday, where we get to play in the finale of the second arc of the Chaos series in the wonderful homebrew world of Ystera that
Nice.
I am looking forward to.
And is the third arc starting next week then?
Yeah, the
Okay.
third arc then kicks up next Wednesday.
Nice.
It's gonna be juicy.
So tomorrow, follow our social media because we will have the link to the YouTube episode 4. Episode 4 will be up on YouTube tomorrow, so you can catch that before episode 5 airs on Wednesday. Kevin, why don't you tell us about yourself, who you played tonight?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm Kevin. I can be found online at the socials at Kevran Games. Tonight I played Taven Grimjaw, and I'm also, like Miko and Jeremy, I'm one of the co-producers here, and on the production team, I should say. Just having a blast, rocking and rolling. You'll see me on Wednesday in Miko's game. I get to play a really fun, cool warlock character that I'm having a lot of fun with, and on Friday you can see me running a different game over in La Turna, which is a grimdark fantasy world that we do on said channel. So thanks again for having us play. Bleak, you are awesome as always, man. I loved the twists and the turns that this took tonight. I love it so much that, without any spoilers, I wish I had thought of some of it for something else going on in my life right now. And that's all I'm going to say. So
Nice.
awesome. I loved it, man. And Shelly, this was awesome. I got to play with you the first time tonight. So
Woo!
Yeah, this is super great. All around.
Yay!
Yay.
So
Bleak,
thanks.
Bleak, I just want to, before I have you introduce yourself, or introduce yourself, I just want to throw out there, maybe These are triplets. They're evil triplets fucking with us.
Oh, Richardson.
Yeah.
Richardson.
I'll tell you one thing. I've done the crazy old guys, the demon thing once before Shelly was in that game, and I'm definitely not repeating myself. So Richardson's not the demon.
I feel like we've completed an arc.
Feel
though,
like
right?
he's saying that.
It's a 3 is significant here.
Right.
In some way.
Huh.
Yeah.
There were 3 zones we could go through. There's 3
There was
Richardsons.
3 unique items that were distributed to us at the beginning.
Huh. A lot to think about.
3 gems.
3 gems. Yeah. Now there's
3
6 gems,
keys.
though.
Oh shit.
Bleak, why don't you tell us about yourself and how to find you on the interwebs?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can find me pretty much anywhere where it says Bleakseason, the Bleakseason on Twitter, and Bleakseason, I think, just on Blue Sky. But you can also find me at Guild Superior on Thursday running my Lord of the Rings game, and also on my channel doing some stuff once in a while. But yeah, or check out my website, bleakseasongaming.com, where I keep all the updated stuff there and links to all the past stuff and whatnot. Of course, YouTube with the VODs and all that. I just put up the 4-part Penny Dreadful game that we just finished on my channel. It was an amazing game with amazing players. We had a really good time. So that's all 4 parts are now up on the VOD on my YouTube, which is also Bleakseason. So
Excellent.
Thank you very much, Jeremy, for inviting me. I had a good time. I was telling Miko, I think recently, that there's some games that you do for business, some games you do for pleasure, and some games you do because Jeremy has pictures of you doing terrible things and he's threatening to release them. This was definitely that game. But no, I enjoy playing.
It's true.
There's games that you play with friends, and then this was that. So I had a good time with that. So thank you very much.
Don't worry, I'm the one that gave them to Jeremy. I'll share them with you later.
Right. Right.
Cool. Yeah. I'll pay anything for them.
I'll pay anything.
They're really not worth that much.
No.
Okay, well then I'll pay less
I'm
than
not-
anything.
I'll pay
but I want
less.
'em.
I'm not locked in, Shell. I'm not a dwarf. It's not.
Oh, well, still.
And I'm
Still take
Jeremy Hochhalter. You can find me on the interwebs at WH Pubs from most places, or head over to WHpublications.com to see my stuff. Not my stuff that you can blackmail me with into running games for you. I'll probably just do that for fun. Let's see. Anything else?
Who are we raiding tonight?
We're going to raid Darling Creepshow. But I do want to say that if you're watching this on YouTube, check out the show notes below for all of the links that we just talked about. And we will see you next Monday at 9 p.m. for part 2 of Dragonbane. Ravenghast. Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Ravenghast.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, is there a question mark?
Ravenghast!
All right. Thanks, everybody. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Thank you.
You're out. I'm not out. I'm still talking. They can hear me.